or like type of player or the place that he's coming from, but Brolin just looks right in a Mel's jersey. Like, I feel like that's the feeling got like sort of as soon as he debuted with the team. It doesn't make sense necessarily that he's replacing someone like Frozen, yet it's working. Yep. I think that's credit to Shuhei for integrating him very well. And, oh, okay.
Try that twice, though. Pay the piper. Santerez, instant headshot. Ready for it this time around. And Torzi's hype from the last round is very quickly cooled off.
Yeah, they didn't know how excited he was, but that's like the perfect guy to kill in a situation like that.
Although what he said to his teammates was give them no space.
Beautiful.
And, well, Eternal Fire will come back at that ramp, looking for vengeance. They find it with the 2 kills. And a comfortable-looking 5v3 here for Eternal Fire. Shuhei still sits around, and he, on an individual level, has been playing some great CS. One of the driving level has been playing some great CS. One of the driving forces in their victory over that of which got Mao's hyped.
And they'll pause on the ramp, but this time from a place of power. They've got the player advantage, and they know that Mao's are already letting the incessant thought of saving seep into their minds.
Now, I know what you were just bringing up, speaking of, Brolin's inclusion for Mao's, and if we look at kind of the trajectory of his career, right? He's this young Swedish prodigy that gets to play with what was, at the time, the best Swedish players in order to all elevate and come together, right? What we have now, for the first time in his career, is playing alongside 4 other young, upcoming players who, as far as in the server goes, don't have that legend or experience to point to, right? These are players that were all on their journey together as young men, and with Shuhei and Mao's NXT took over from a young point. There was no quality within them. They are just, they are bit by bit, piece by piece, using the WePlay Academy system to gain land experience from the get-go. They were a group of professionals. That is what always, made Mao's stand apart from being experience with Mao's NXT and Shuhei's lineup there with Exertion, with Torji, the whole former lineup was that they were just so much more mature on average than all the other teams that were that young and playing in the academy late. Nice save. And they won so much as well. Yeah, that's a beautiful spray. Now it's exit frags, but he keeps his gun. A lot of money here for his opponents. Even when speaking of ex-Mao's players in JDC, right? I think if you go and watch Big's interviews with JDC nowadays, you just see how well-spoken he is, how professional he comes across, and he just has that, professional mantra about him as a player. And it's a testament to what that group has had forever. And now Brolin gets to kind of throw himself into a ragtag gang of younger men who have results we can point at for him to be, proud of. He hasn't posted them with them yet, but it feels like the right fit. If you were to tell me Brolin was always an NXT player and that he came up with them on the same trajectory, I could believe it.
Yeah, it's the same story. It feels like this tournament is where all the matters, because qualifying to the major, even if you qualify directly to the elimination stage, is awesome, but it's your results here that are going to speak louder than anything else that you've done. Everything else is preparation, building confidence, showing results, and they've laid that foundation. Now it's just about executing and achieving something that he never felt like he could in his previous lineups.
Ничего не шарит в кейсе, наверное, вот и ходит, кулачки отбивает, блядь, массаж делает и все, блядь.
Бабки отрабатывает.
Надо отработать бабки.
Интересно, как в киберспорте роль тренера еще такая...
Ну, вот в Астралисе там с блокнотиком был.
Нет, я в плане того сравнить, насколько, допустим, тренера в футболе решают, они чуть ли не лицо команды.
Если, типа, заставлять тренера, вряд ли, конечно, в кейсе, но там тренироваться, следить за их тренировками,
ну, еще не пришли к этому, вообще надо, да.
Я в этом плане говорю, что, типа,
там же
сколько все по-другому.
А более далеко ходить, этот же, Сеп на днях там в интервью в каком-то говорил, типа, ну что вот в Тундере же была какая-то хуйня там с майнд-контролом, с тем, Себом, что Загая назначили, еще что-то.
Он сегодня извинился, кстати.
И Себ говорил как раз, что типа, да, ну это же вообще пиздец, типа, что это за хуйня, почему организация берет и ставит им, типа, блядь, менеджера или тренера, типа, они могут только посоветовать, а типа, ну, решать должны игроки. Я такой сижу и слушаю и думаю, ты че, ебанутый?
Роль
тренера как раз таки чуваки должны решать все, как бы, а игроки должны просто приходить и играть, и как бы, если им власть дашь, блядь, этим 20-летним имбецилам, они же, блядь, все просрут.
Да, да. Ну вот, типа а-ля, как у них этот, Зоник или как он, Зоник, Блейд, вот такие тренера, которые типа как а-ля вокруг своей системы команду строят. Ты долго еще будешь ебаться со своими ОБСом?
А ты смотришь у меня на стриме, что ли?
Да, я вижу. Нет, я смотрю, как ты стримишь. Или ты хочешь, чтобы я перестал смотреть?
Нет, я все на стриме.
Two of these two teams, Eternal Fire proved so much through the first stage. Mouse proved so much by qualifying directly to elimination.
And in the process of that, defeating Spirit. Mouse is the only
Ну и
team
процесс как формирование команд пока не очень такой, типа, да, мне заебись с тобой играть, все, погнали на ЗП.
Barring, of course, the blast groups
тоже
at the start of the year
такое,
where Spirit had 2 stand-ins. Those don't count in my books.
That's when we, like when Mouse beat Spirit, we're like, man, Donk is just getting too old.
Yep.
You know, that's when we thought.
Yeah. Times are retired.
Yeah, I mean, it really felt like he was counting the days at that point, but he found the fountain of youth once again. He's still back. He's still here, I guess. Is the best way to put it.
Что Джихад поставит?
You know, I was quite surprised to see the amount of doubt that started to be thrown Eternal Fire's way after their struggle versus Heroic in the opening stage of the major. Because Eternal Fire are a team that so many people were comfortable putting 3-0, having full faith in, progressing out. And yes, they had their hiccup against Heroic. One of those maps was still close. They exchanged maps in the following sense, but if we were going, say, and putting hype on Eternal Fire and Saw to break through and get into top 16, it almost feels like
Кстати, вот можно не париться муликами там выгонять чувака, просто кинуть пару хаешек туда и все.
Ну это если хорошо хаешки попадут. Так 3 надо дать.
Там уж, наверное,
нет, хаешки должны хорошо попадать, они могут... Вроде... Даже если четко летит, она иногда ничего не бьет.
Zertian will pull a single player off the site.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know that was a possible interaction. Maybe it hit the floor right after.
Басмаков накидали, когда-нибудь мы также будем на выходить.
Maybe it's just got such a hard head, it counted as a floor.
Сложно их купить и кинуть, братан.
Да, сложно.
Это сложная часть.
Roland floating here. Wicadia gets locked into the pistol fight. But Santaris gives him the cover, so at the moment we're talking about a 5-1 lead for Eternal Fire. We're talking about a consistent A-ramp take that started well for Mouse, but has been stuffed ever since.
Читер.
It's crazy. We got Eternal Fire on a full Turkish lineup, obviously. If they've been on a full Turkish lineup. This is just now them impressing on their full Turkish lineup. And then we have, you know, Big, who Santaris used to play for. They're on a full German lineup right now as well. And I think if you guys saw it, there's the video posted by the Eternal Fire account on Twitter where they're having a watch party in maybe Istanbul, I would assume. 1,000 people there cheering on this team.
And Moses said I think there was actually 2 watch parties going on, another one in Ankara. So like, you know,
wow.
2 big cities in Turkey,
and
enough to fill out a couple theaters by the looks of things. Turkish passion runs deep. The pockets of Mao is finally refilled. We get the M4s out, and Brolin is going to contest the ramp again. Now, Santaris has been the bane of their existence.
See, the approach are being so much more careful on the ramp this time around, but they are still scaling.
Wicadia comes through it. The lineup for Brolin made easy this time around. That's Woxic to the wayside. Wicadia with him.
Yeah.
No W for Eternal Fire this round.
This was a time where they needed the flash, but didn't have it. Another 5v3 situation here for
Ну, бля, им
Mouse.
заебись, 1-5 идут.
Best chance to claw back the CT half.
Пока.
Ну,
Все, не
Какая-то
зайдут
мапа.
они
Pressure on
никуда.
Yimfat again. The
Блин.
last time they
5
tried to
раундов
scale
взяли,
it to
уже
B, they
хорошо.
rocked him. He just dives behind green, but
Oh,
then
he ate the
comes
flash.
back
Почему?
and tries to fight it. Caught out in the open. Molotov's over the top. Zershin looking to put up some kind of a defense. There's 2 players here for the T's that are low, and Zershin's gonna make sure he cleans up a trio of frags, a total stoppage, and finally Mao's second round.
I know he died right there, but I want to say that's a play that makes me appreciate Jimpat because he obviously eats the flash. That's the main reason he can't lock down the spray. But falling back to an angle in the open, that's still a good angle to defend against that choke point. Gives Exertion more space to do this, right? If he had fallen back to Generator, then Exertion would have been in way more trouble of actually just getting hard cleared that entire time. But instead, he gave his teammates space, decided to try to go 1-for-1 if possible. And as a B player, it can be tempting to play retake, but how many times do we see teams play retake on almost any round on Vertigo and simply lose?
Again, this time Brolin opening up.
Ё-моё.
You best Santares. That is the key to the A site of Eternal Fire. Left behind. Maus have shown their resilience in the opening best of 1, and they're going to have to bank on it.
Well, this round is basically over, actually, because his pockets were jingling on the fallback. Plus, they don't see anybody after they take this risk, so amazing timing here versus the A ramp, and we've seen that Eternal Fire are usually not faking. They've committed slowly versus the ramp, and they also haven't been watching their flanks.
What's the CT setup though?
They're going to clear out B. Oh my god, they think it's
They're
B?
stacking the wrong site. That molly comes down in front of it, the rumblings on A. CT's now
Молик
scrambling
Как вообще
over.
так
They might have lost
получилось?
the timing right there.
Although,
Чуваки их
because
запушили
Eternal
в
Fire
виду,
take a little
и
time, at least Maus do
до сих пор
arrive
на
before the
быстрее.
hit comes out.
Все
I think they're gonna
стянулись.
start watching their flanks now.
Ладно, хоть успели.
We'll see.
Opera saw the barrel cross. Nade's gonna go for the jump up. That's easy damage versus Brolin. Then the Oppers exchange glances and nades, which does find a home for Major and Wikadia's health bars down to the half point. Molotov's going each way.
Exertion's going to start to get activated. 25 seconds.
Time is of the essence here. Zershin starts to get that flank going. Great flashbang, but you didn't see him? Major just tries to plant as the player's posted back sight.
Ну,
And
это
then
такой
Zershin's
амбициозный
flank
план,
comes
я бы
out.
сказал.
Calyx on the recovery. 1 kill and 10 seconds, all he ends up getting. I can't believe that Major doesn't see it.
I would actually like to go back and look at the utility. They don't have wall smokes on the site when they're trying to plant. I'm not exactly sure
5
what
на
happened
5,
there. Well,
короче,
Major,
ретейк
the
был.
flash. Oh, Major
А,
did
да,
see
они
the
его
flash
еще
up
и
after the flash
выиграли.
came in,
Кинули
I
флешку
don't know, diving a plant
и
not on default
раздиффузили.
with no
Одну
wall
флешку.
smokes
И там 5
is
живых, и
Unless
тут
Major was also
с той
flashed,
стороны
and
5
because he's
живых.
planting, then there's no
То есть
animation.
нас вчерашний вьёб,
Could've
это
been
еще
that
не
as
так плохо, да, когда у нас 2 живых было.
See what I mean? That's
Не, там
that's
была
bananas.
просто, короче, одна
Yeah,
флешка,
yeah, I
и
mean,
он
that's
по
open to
таймингу
CT as
взрыва
well. I don't
флешки
think they had
начал
a smoke
диффузить.
down
И просто
that
раздиффузил.
had
Никто его даже не пикнул
bloomed
из
yet, so
Питера.
I mean, I don't think
Да если бы в вчерашнем раунде был живой я, блядь, из тех двух, то мы бы точно выиграли этот раунд.
yeah, we see that round's worth 2
Конечно, просто
maybe.
бежишь и режешь.
Я просто бы бежал и пиздец.
And they
Похуй
only
сдох бы,
rotated
но
in
как бы чел
seconds
отвлекся
before
бы.
the pressure started to come
Ну,
out.
бежи,
Brolin will
по-моему,
catch
играет,
Arcadia
понимаешь?
towards ramp through smokes. Brolin is making a name for
Не,
himself.
просто, что в жизни, что в игре у него стиль, блядь, такой же, он же медлительный пиздец.
Тише едешь, дальше
И
будет.
тут то же самое.
About a good default, disrespecting space, but then
Шифтит там, блядь, за километр. Я понимаю, он шифтил, если бы он рядом был, он, блядь,
oh my
Какая
god,
плохая
we used to
флешка
call
была
him
вообще с мида.
Turkish Niko, man. He's got that
Можно вот
deagle. His aim
на
is so ridiculous. You gotta be careful at all times.
You got a player locked into Tetris.
Я был бы тренером.
Molotov to make sure the boost can't come back up. 50
признать, ну ты
seconds
же не
to
можешь
try and
там
milk this
за карту
round.
кинуть, не знаю, 40 флешек и все идеальные, наверное, уж бывают
Got
косипорные.
no impact grenades left over. Just
Нам
smokes.
запишем, одна косипорная.
Наверное, я не знаю, но хотя, наверное, если обычные, дефолтные, ты должен их, конечно,
They haven't
кидать,
even played the
типа,
game they're trying to
идеально,
flank. There
наверное.
have been gaps
Да,
where they
Какие-нибудь
do
только
it.
сложные можешь позволить себе ошибаться.
Brolin making sure nobody's allowed anywhere close to the top of the ramp.
и тут
Zershin's
закрыто.
angle could certainly catch somebody off. Zantares will be looking for the
Без
head
шансов.
back sight instead.
Так, ну я за Мулзов, наверное, болею, не за
Я
Турков.
всегда
Blocked
за
by
Молотов.
the in-game leader of Maus.
За шлюхи, нахуй.
On the
И
B
за
steps from
заплывшего
Zershin,
Тему.
and Maus will
Я
convert off
со
the back
времен
of the
мувиков
previous
за них
round. This one
топлю.
goes down easy.
Yeah, they're definitely winning as a team.
У них мувик прикольный был.
Good setups to get the kills. They're getting
Сейчас найдем кто-нибудь на
high
Антона
yield. It's
похож.
high yield these setups on the A ramp. opening kills have been definitely going the way of the CTs enough times to justify more.
Я хотел бы сказать,
And that's
откуда ты
been
знаешь,
actually the
как я
real trouble
выгляжу,
for
ну,
teams to figure out how to
подумал.
get A ramp control, because
Да.
CS2 smokes are so
Что за
fickle on
пакетики?
Vertigo
Типа
with
руки
how you can
сушишь?
blow them up.
Да,
That
нет,
can
Разогреет
feed back
это.
at you, but we're actually seeing that this is working out more for the CT side.
Они же играют, считай, в
with the
каком-нибудь
HEs.
складе, холодно.
And they're approaching in the same way as CSGO. You know, high-low setup on the ramp, one player ready on short side, ready to peek, and then just timing when they blow up the nade instead of Eternal Fire using it to find a pick off on the crane peak with an off.
Или там нельзя пить, когда играешь?
Можно. Ну просто они, скорее всего, все там с какими-нибудь, либо с
Is
водой,
definitely
либо
on
с
Monk's Vertigo right now
энергетиками.
for the CTs.
Да. Ну,
Because
колу там видел, пили.
You can't
Сахар.
really just play retake on either side. I think that is the
Правда, сахар
that's
опасно
the
им
tough
пить.
part. You've
да.
got to
Не,
fight fire
сахар
with
вроде
fire on this
можно,
map
когда
on CT side.
не сильно вроде влияет. Наоборот, бодришь.
Бодрит, но потом он тебе пиздец. Если это БО3, я бы сахар точно не пил.
Кофеек и воду, блядь. Идея самая
That
лучшая.
features less pressure for Mouse on A ramp because they went for that early double B setup, right? We see the op posted down the steps.
Я на катку хожу, когда там, блядь, в оффлайн, там чуваки вообще безбожно эти энергетики ебошут всю ночь. Я когда на них смотрю, блядь, мне всегда плохо становится. Я говорю, пацаны, пощадите свой организм, блядь.
Ну, бля, я не знаю, они потом не спят, наверное. Что у тебя адреналин, и ты еще энергетиком хуякаешь.
Так они еще умудряются, они там ебанут кофе, потом ебанут энергетик, потом чай какой-нибудь, потом опять энергетик, нахуй.
Потом инфаркт.
И так всю ночь.
Бля, как сердце выдерживает такое?
Ну, поэтому в 50 лет отдохнул.
Я когда этим барменом был в клубе, у меня чувак какой-то выпил 10 водки Red Bull, и потом его дестерилизировали, блядь, просто охуел. Ну, просто сердце, ну, не знаю, схватился за сердце и упал.
Не, ну они так специально за Т играют, и выделяются
Yeah, there was a gap, but it was a matter of timing for Mouse to get back into position. They were playing jump up in that 5v5 with a rifle.
Не знаю, правда, зачем они
almost couldn't believe that they didn't take any ramp fights. And when they didn't see any opponents, I think they got a little scared. Because if they had gotten down to a 3v3 or something like that, they were low utility for the rest of the hit, then I think they would have felt more confident about coming in.
Готовы.
They really expected Mouse, who have
Вот
shown
это мой
that they're
раунд.
going for aggressive CT ramp control, to be there at some point. And
Ты
haven't
за
found them.
КС. А, нет, смотри, опять
I
все.
think the game plan for Major, in not finding someone, they could have transposed into the site hit, so there was a timing and a good call in that. But it was also bad that when they didn't see that, they didn't have a second layer to the game plan. What's the reaction now that we've gotten more space than we thought we'd get? Need some more conviction in the calls. Make hay when the sun shines.
Ну все равно 5 раундов зато взяли.
Earlier today, of course, we had the Eternal Fire versus Vitality game where the experts were praising the calls of Major versus Apex. Now it's Shuhei at bat. Easy pickups for the rifles inside of the B sites. No entry allowed, and that has been the case for the majority of these B attempts. Early on, they got through with the pistol. From that point forward,
По языке героикам проебали. Виталики этим проебали. Заебись.
Да. Героики классно играли, я смотрел.
Сейчас нормально.
Получается 1-1. 1-0.
Мне кажется, профитнее было бы побежать, короче, на рампу 5 теков без гранат.
After the ESL Pro League and Malta was locked down and won by Mouse, a group of players who dreamed of one day winning a CSGO event, and in their final chance to do it,
there was so much poetry at the end of CSGO, Niko getting Cologne, Mouse winning that Pro League finally, Vitality winning in Paris, I getting his chip, and yeah, lots of storylines got locked up. Heroic winning a tier 1 LAN, there was...
Чуваки же сидят, блядь, у тебя нахуй. Грелки хуярят, нахуй. Онлайн, я.
Mouse starving them a bit has worked out quite well.
А получается, сейчас кто выигрывает, тот на 2-0 уже уходит, нихуя себе.
Tie game on the cards. Pretty low utility as well for Mouse to just try and close out with.
Ну зачем так стоять,
A little late with Katie tracking him on the tarp.
No shame down to that. They were ready for his swing.
Into the 3v5 will go.
I would say like Mouse really haven't had the reads this half, but when they finally get the information, they've been really good at the setups. Now it's the first time you see kind of a hard gamble here. It's blind and it's 5v3. It's the perfect time to try to do it. But let's see if it's red or black.
It's also not too characteristic of Eternal Fire throughout this T side to be going for fakes, but here in the final round of the half, they will do exactly that. Santeras with the wall of smokes.
The amount of times that boost has worked.
They'll see nothing else.
Too many guns shooting back.
And Calyx can be given a nice long lurk.
Planted
on the B side, confirming Mouse's worst fears. But interesting. Yeah, he's going to stick around a little bit, right? He didn't think that Santeras is on his own, maybe because of the 2 smokes. And sure enough, now they have equalized this with enough time to go for a bit of a desperate retake. There's
Нихуя себе этот геймпад задрот, блять, поставили на Б, он на А ждет фланг. Ебаный девственник.
Может они не услышали, что он убежал на ноге, одного услышали, а второго нет?
Меня кажется,
Нави хороший какой.
Нави G2.
From Eternal Fire, making the most of the 5v3 to tie this game right back up.
Клауда, кстати.
Blessed with a lot of great games.
Клаудов я буду смотреть.
Another good
А
start.
как же Нави
Both teams
G2?
showed brilliant plays here in the first half.
Пол героик.
Efforts and no telling who's going to be able to win this
А
game.
G2 мне не нравится. Там, блять, Хукси и Некса, блять, это просто пиздец составчик.
That intently in that situation is because they were well prepared for
Ника и
Vertigo.
Монесy тащит
Of
3
course,
остальных.
Cyclone
Это
also the
такой
coach to get the
клоунский
call up from
состав.
Mouse NXT, and now they've got Zipix, who is the assistant coach. Who, of course, you would think Zipix, you know, why would he be an assistant to anybody? But he hasn't done any coaching, so I think it's a really good setup in terms of keeping Cyclone in position and getting some.
Вот это хороший дабл.
They'll become a championship winning team.
Mind control реально долбоёб какой-то, кажется.
Я думаю, ему заплатили.
Что заплатили?
Ну, я не знаю, зачем он это затвитил. Типа, если он твитнул это бесплатно, то это точно долбоёб. Или про другое.
Не, ну я к тому, что он вначале хуйню сделал, сейчас, ну, типа, объясняется. Я к тому, что он какой-то, блядь...
Я думаю, ему Тундра сказал, это попутал. Ну, нет, я это так интерпретирую.
And they'll find that all of this is for free. That deep Molotov on construction followed by a smoke. Excellent utility usage for the few tools that they had for this job. And it'll be a matter of hanging on. We've got a flashbang for Calyx to try to get the retake going. We've got no kit, though, in the mix for Eternal Fire. So this flank is going to have to hit hard and hit fast. Walks it, kicks it off. Zershin tries to push through, giving the Berettas back over to the defense. Flash to get the green push going. Yimfat losing teammates, and it falls on Shuhei. 1v3, can't get out of dodge.
Takes the jump.
Stuck into the bomb site. Defuse coming out from Calyx, has to be the 10-second stick, and Shuhei delivers two, a 3-piece, 1v3, like it's nothing.
Wow, it's a cherry on top to have that second kill come out at the exact same second. Nicely done from Shuhei. Definitely finessed them, trying to pretend to jump over the half wall.
Какие-то гомосятины эти молза, не знаю, осуждаю. Это какой-то заплывший сист, не знаю, трогают друг друга, не знаю, осуждаю.
Well, I would have felt bad, but I also would have been maybe looking at Zershin for pushing out through that smoke with the Berettas. I don't know if they had a flash to get that aggressive with. And it's not like Major's flank
Типа для стриминга или?
Yeah, I agree. On low utility, they could have doubled up on stairs, for
Они
example,
так хуёво встали, я не знаю. А или он типа его прикрывал своим телом, чтобы тот мог дефузить.
Not gonna push blame without a top-down view of what the hell was just going on.
Sometimes it is fun, though, to just fire indiscriminately.
Of course.
Ну, да, это
Shoot first, ask questions later.
половые
Да, в
отношения.
принципе, вот этот чувак на рампе изначально заходил, что пошел первый. Ну, надо было последним играть.
3 MP9s featured in the buyback from Eternal Fire. Little stack of grenades, a cache of utility. Insertion, as he will be on the entry. Sprays down Major and gets into the cover. But they have just whacked the beehive. They are soon to find more CTs where the first one came from. Clearing them out with ease. Shuhei, it's a double kill off his Galil.
Галина
Joining up
работает.
nicely, Maus will start to establish a lead early on.
And you can see Exertion is feeling himself right now, 14-5.
Втроем с
And
флешками.
he's someone who I squeezed in my top 20 list last year, in like 19th or 20th or something. And there wasn't really a stats argument for him because he has so many deaths. But
Мне
for
кажется,
me, you know,
сейчас
you take the
надо
good with the
метод
bad
вводить
with
именно
Exertion
быстрые игры.
because
Вышел,
when he's having his on
есть
games,
пешки,
when they
зато
played
еще...
against Spirit, if you remember the
Я не
Mirage
видел,
match,
что бегали
he's
с
the one who
пешками
killed
все
Donk and
положили.
Connector every round.
Они же вообще крошат.
You can't really do
Прыгает
that unless
такая.
you've got the kind of confidence that Exertion has. And especially for someone who has no
Дешевые,
pedigree,
мощные.
right? No reason to even believe in himself to the same level as some of the players that they're going up against. Without him,
Надо,
this
чтоб
team loses a
какая-нибудь
lot of their
команда
identity
показала, как надо бегать.
because they could only supplant, you
Ну
know,
а чё,
the
Донг не
aggressive
показывает, ну
fragging
каждый раз,
to
как
like
долбоёб
Shuhei or
бегает и
Brolin, for
минус
example.
3-4
And
делает.
despite all the deaths
Он
that
шарит
Exertion
за
had, if you
метод.
played
Потому
slower,
что сейчас
you
метод,
probably have better
вот
stats.
реально,
But I don't
ты
know if you have better
выходишь,
impact.
и тебя не могут убить, если ты выбежал.
He
Анимация
has
не
had
как
moments
в
where his
CSGO.
individual level has dropped off. Didn't mean that he lost his identity at all.
Ну, Simple
We're gonna get the Berettas
научит
posted.
заводить.
But held by
В смысле,
none other
утюг?
than Xertion.
Шаришь, прикол?
Little backside presence dealt with. MP9 will sweep one
Что,
under the
типа,
rug.
я
We'll see if
видел,
Eternal-
как чувак
Ooh, if
на
Fire
утюге
can do anything at
играл.
all. Little Glock burst in the
Короче,
middle of it.
там
9-6
он
posted
про
out of Mars, and this
инфофлаг
T-side
типа,
starting to hit the
инфофлаг,
flow
все
state.
проблемы
yeah.
в нем. И там
They're talking,
кто-то
they're having fun. They're
какую-то
coming off a
тему
win,
ему задвинул.
looking
Типа, если
to
какой-нибудь
start the
жесткий
elimination
электрический прибор
stage.
дома
2-0 on the
включить, то
first
этот флаг
day.
пропадает, короче. Там угорают, утюги дома включают.
Eternal Fire look for
Вот и пошло.
revenge here on Vertigo,
Ага.
probably knowing that it was coming up in this
Я
video
просто
again
видел, как чувак
in a timeout now to
это
try to claw back a T-side.
утюг себе как мышку сделал, и он, блядь,
Да.
с утюгом играл
That
на
Shuhei
Мираже.
pistol clutch.
That was
Так,
big.
опять он
Yeah,
пошел
that makes a
обниматься, да
massive
он
difference.
заебал, слушай.
I mean, even the near retake in the 3v5, the
У
round
них
prior,
тренер
could have
какой-то
been a
этот,
Mouse round.
кормилец, блядь, он чисто
If not for
молодых, блядь,
the other
лапает.
in-game leader on screen now, who clutched back his 1vx.
Ну, вот смотри, какой у Eternal Fire тренер,
The
мужик.
MR12, best of
Ну,
one.
неплохо.
Those close rounds mean all that much more.
Смотри, какие усики, он по-любому домогается до него.
Импат.
No doubt that Shuhei 1v3 leaves their ears ringing. Eternal Fire give it a chance to get
Oh,
back on the board with the
хорошо.
weapons.
Ну, как
Ну,
на
да,
8.
Ну, чуть ниже, ладно. Чуть-чуть подальше, и она
Of
будет
course, he's going to go
нормально.
hunting. This shot.
Не словил.
Wicadia playing a dangerous game there,
Massively, yeah.
but he also eats his teammate's flash, so now no held
Сантарес
angle.
же очень самый жесткий,
Santera is
по-моему,
not
пикер.
looking too afraid of this
Да.
pressure.
Да, да.
Сейчас
There's
я
a
видел.
call out. Double
Я,
nade to
кстати,
the
ни
top
разу
of
не видел,
ramp.
как он играет.
Считается, да, что его пик это просто
Pat in the
пиздец.
depths.
Major almost
Камень
taking a
что-то.
peek over top of the wood wall. Could have very well cost
Хуя
his head
себе уже
that
9-6.
crocodile down beneath.
I think a lot of the belief in
Привет.
Да, мы
yourself
уже
for Eternal
обещали,
Fire
мне
comes
кажется.
in this
Пока я
round.
тут отходил еду наложить себе.
Наложил?
The thought of having to
Наложил.
save again versus 10 rounds could be devastating. I think it's a great play actually for Mouse to
Чё
play it
ешь?
slow because even if they shave him down, they could be at an
Ку-
advantage.
Кус-кус с котлеткой.
Next round, win or loss. Draw out their utility, make it expensive.
Приятно.
Спасибо.
Ням-ням. О, ебать. Дал этот
Some
паркур,
style
Тём?
points, but only if you had done it the first time, Torzy.
Бесполезный только. Ну,
Few seconds extra,
Неважно.
still scouring
Well,
sight, sees nothing. Good peek from
Бам.
Oh my
Santera.
god, he just took a
пизда.
look.
Unannounced, wide
Вон
swing
он,
out of his
Сантарес
position.
тебе.
It's like, it's a bit too quiet for me.
Бам.
Torzy's trying to creep on the approach. Xertion has to
Где
end up going through
прикрытие его,
smoke,
блядь?
but he changed places with Wicadia, so it
Вон
ends up
Wicadia
costing him
сзади.
teammates On top of the Xanterra's headshot, there's Wacadia's challenge and
Чуть не
finish.
обосрался он с
Nicely
этим.
done here from Xanterra's and Wacadia. Just timings, right? Those internal timings from Eternal Fire that clicked, as well as their headshots.
There are times for momentum calls, and I actually think Mouse called the correct round here. Again, just trying to make it as expensive as possible, but even in the situation where Mouse are looking for, where they shave down 3 players and make the money tough, even if Eternal Fire win, they don't get that, but they don't even get the kills, and it's actually not that expensive at all for Eternal Fire, so this is the best possible win that they could be looking for. But they know there's still some money to chew through, and still a lead here for Mouse. Looking for Xanterra's with these nades.
Waiting for Woxic to have his big moment. Oh, Brolin wins that duel. And then Torzy gets the better of his counterpart. 5v3 for Mouse. You know, they've gotten close to sight, but it was without kills previously. Calyx getting Jimmy back is big.
What's the move here? You know, this is a situation where you definitely keep 1B very often, or you go and search back information. If Mouse move fast enough, they can definitely take the A site. There is utility left on the CTs as they go back to check flanks. This buys them time. So we'll see if it's early or late, but it's still past a minute, and there's still staging here to be done on the A side as they molly out all the positions.
CT shelf peek, a possibility. Major looking to create questions for Mouse. Nade goes a little too far to take more than 30 off Shuhei.
I don't even know if he's...
And that opens up the door for Mouse to go deep CT, right? Off Major's smoke, Xerxin decides to take the position that he himself has offered over, and we'll see if this comes back to haunt Eternal Fire, as suddenly their flank has also been cleared out. Xerxin wins the fight towards Shelf, and this retake never had any legs to stand on.
Yeah,
the only thing that kept them close was Calyx's kill on B.
They're sitting outside, like you said, their own smoke, right? And so they're in a 3v4, looking to get back into a site, low on time, low on numbers, and instead lose players in the exit after a round where they showed that they were keeping their economy in mind, winning all their trades. And in this situation, they at least saved one
так
goal,
вот
but probably should have been
Frozen
great
ушел
opportunity
из
now for Mouse
музов,
to take
они
full
ебут.
advantage.
Да, зря он,
They know
ну,
the
хотя он
opportunity they've
в
created for
Катовице до
themselves.
полуфинала, или нет? До
And this
финала
kill,
дошел в Катовице, да.
that's huge.
Муза, наверное, самая такая старая организация.
Там зарплата, наверное, заебальчик и в фейзах еще.
Ну, наверное, фейзы платят в разы больше, чем в Маус.
Так.
Ну и плюс фейзы сильная команда. То есть его тоже можно
понять. А фейз это что, американская организация?
Да. В Ютубе.
А Мауза Европа, да?
Немцы.
А героики тоже, да, красавчики?
Героики молодцы, да, их этот Яби Ставн кинули, они все равно еще, блядь...
И Кейден съебал, что и в итоге...
ну,
они...
Нет, Кейдена они сами выкинули.
Прикольная позиция, да, за столбом.
Надо запомнить.
Ты же знаешь эту драму, да?
Да-да-да. И сейчас они в Астралисах сосут с кайфом.
Да. Пиздец противные чуваки. Ну, может они как игроки хорошие, но по-людски поступок, конечно, максимально мерзкий.
Bum Molotov, CT challenge. Oh no! 3v4 coming back thanks to the double up in middle. Wacadia put this one set up so wonderfully. Woxic is going to have to pick up slack. He's got Jimfat in front of him. But he's found good timing underneath the stairs. Jimmy, oh, he ends up seeing him. And this is a recovery from Mouse that it felt near impossible.
У них этот... У них, блядь, девайс не может... Не может и уже, возможно, не сможет на свой уровень вернуться. Посредственно играет пиздец.
Ну, хуй, ну, не могу сказать.
Он же никогда таким жестким не был. Он хороший среднячок, стабильный.
Всегда был жесткий. Топ-3 раньше, блядь. Ты чё?
Он стабильный был, но они же все вместе играли очень хорошо.
Он всегда в топ-3 был рейтинга. То есть он набивал, там ёбнешься.
У него МВПшек было дохуя, блядь. Почти столько же, как у Симпла в турнире.
А этот он, блядь, нихуя не может.
Ну это же все закончилось, когда они вот
And then they have a rotator who comes through.
Ну, когда он разошлись, у него не было шансов, он на непах чуть-чуть поиграл, потом он что-то начал хуйней страдать. А в Австралисе...
Потому что там бабы кинула что-то нахуй.
По цифрам, а потом он хуйней начал страдать.
Ну, плюс он еще в инактив уходил, там проебался.
Из-за тёлки, по-моему.
Был бы я тренером, первое требование было бы чисто дрочка, нахуй. До конца жизни, блядь. В контракте было бы, никаких баб.
Непов жалко, они, сука, денег на него потратили. А он просто нихуя не сделал.
Либо с тренером жухаетесь, либо вообще вот это.
Safe to say, not ideal. No utility to go with it. Calyx only the Molotov, presumably for the bottom of B.
Опа, Воксик с Дербашом.
Position themselves.
Не знаю, тусоваться поехал.
The 4-round lead, 2 to close it. Torzy not given that chance.
Не знаю, Рин. Владимиру просьбу пошла исполнять. В магазин какой-то поехал.
That Woxic mid-hole is literally an auto-shotty boosted on boxes, just hoping somebody steps forward. Calyx, he did use the Molotov at the very start of the round, so now he's just banking on an MP9 and the few nades that his teammates still have to work with. In fact, going to apply pressure. Nice and early here for Mouse. Knowing that if they can win this one, it feels like the CTs are busted.
Молодец.
Ты в хороших руках, Тёма.
What?
Xantares has always been there. That was an amazing trade back, to be honest. But as we've seen already, they need much more than that.
No doubt. Smoke grenade from B site. In fact, third time's the charm. Fourth time's the charm.
Yeah.
Climbing over with the smoke up.
They don't know I'm here.
Second CT coming over by Green. And we're going to get this pack of Mouse players.
I'm slipping Jimmy.
Look at it slide through.
He got through.
Sure enough. I mean, you could hear the scrambling offense.
Yeah.
It's all good in the end.
Ебать, там джимпатов просто
Yeah, shoots better than he jumps, I'll tell
как
you that.
газон.
Yeah, nice one, jump hat.
You know, there's some weird inconsistencies with jumping right now, so like I don't know how much I want to grill him.
He was just trying to pull all the rotators early.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
that's the only way you get this sequence.
that's true.
Да.
Like Nav said, you know,
Мама
nobody makes
костячок
mistakes.
раздает.
It's always on purpose. Damn.
I think Internal Fire will have some regrets about the CT side, but they also lost to the better team potentially. Like, they can pull back this game, but right now Mauser, you know, going toe-to-toe with them in some situations, but more X factor. I think they're playing more responsibly. And they have a good read on Eternal Fire here in the second half. Yeah, all their setups have been fleshing out the right players. Nades landing in the good spots.
There's been a couple near misses with Mao's and Shuhei's calls, but even when it felt like there was going to be an issue, they act fast enough to recover moments. So, Major off the next flash. Wonderful. Calyx setting that one up beautifully with the flashbangs. Eternal Fire not done yet. Jimpat, neither is he. A second 3 versus 5 would be back-breaking. So
jumping Jimmy.
They're going to make sure to put him down. Katie, hot on the heels.
Don't knife him. You know what I mean? Don't knife him. Oh my God. I need to think about it for a sec. That actually would have turned into an op duel. I mean, knife duel, excuse me. Yeah. To think about that.
And at that point, you have to commit.
You have to.
You have to.
You have to be honorable.
You have to.
Ой, я могу перевести и озвучить, представляешь?
Torzy looking like he just saw a ghost. Turns around and there's a knife in front of him.
Гранат. Вечный огонь еще не потушен. Джимпэт, он тоже не такой. Вторая тройка против 5 была бы непосильной задачей.
Значит, он прыгает на Джимми.
Они позаботятся о том, чтобы его усыпили. Какая
Даже плюс-минус точно.
Не надо. Не зарежь его ножом.
Ты понимаешь, что я имею в виду? Не зарежь его ножом. О боже мой, мне нужно немного подумать об этом. Это действительно превратилось бы в оперативный инструмент. Я имею в виду ножевой инструмент. Извини меня. Подумай об этом.
И в этот момент ты должен взять на себя обязательно.
And at that point, you have to commit.
You have to.
You have to.
be honorable.
Янтекс красавчики, конечно.
All right.
Now down to just 4.
Yeah, it's 4. But they've got Walks gone and off.
Ай, все равно
But
это
they don't exactly have him
ебали.
on form right now. Much more impact coming the way of Torji in this matchup.
And of course, Sershin, 20 and 10. As Wicadia looks to get off to the races again, he does it. A double kill from the same spot. Not his first.
That's the timing they've been looking for all half, actually, to pull that play off. And Wicadia have a spot for it coming again behind the Molotov in that previous round. They definitely have a read on the way Maus want to approach the ramp control, and it's doing pretty well for them. I mean, he's died a couple of times. The other times, Xanteris has got the kills.
11-13.
Я думаю, все равно гейки
Good
выиграют.
as well for Eternal Fire. Fourth player leaning back towards elevator. Good op shot, good nade as well. This is Eternal Fire with what feels like a layup of a round left over. Xanteris forced to the fight, happy to contribute. A little bit of recovery now. Yimfat on his own has gotten 2 kills and a bit more damage, confirming 2 CTs to the left side. Torji not on the trusty op. Elevator peak about to come in, and that is where this one gets cut down. This is Eternal Fire with an excellent back-to-back response.
Yeah, and this will be a real test of the fight of Eternal Fire to see if they can put one foot in front of the other, because I think this is a game where clearly, like, I think the round score accurately describes who's made less mistakes. I mean, even if we go to the Shuhei 1v2, it's a 10-second stick, but once they know where Shuhei is, couldn't they still have swung him together to get the kill? In some of the defaults where they've got outgunned a little bit, I don't think this game comes completely down to aim. I think Eternal Fire have kept up in that regard. Maybe there is the Woxic, Torji difference, but Torji's been set up very well, where Woxic hasn't even been. So there it is. Bit of a rare appearance, but never too late. Well, the game is still live, so I think it comes down to mentality.
And Eternal Fire's mentality has been strong in Copenhagen. They've been fighting tooth and nail.
And they've been through it. You know, there was the game, there was a series, I think one map on Vertigo, where they really showed that they were not themselves and the pressure was getting to them. But they bounced back from it.
Woxic, missed shot. Yimfat's opened the door towards B. To lose this one would be rough. So, luckily, they start to stop the bleeding. Shuhei. Whoa. Him and Xanteris.
Oh, he made noise, though.
But then he made noise the other way again, and then turned back. No way Xanteris falls for that. Shuhei just ran back a second time.
Yeah.
Xanteris.
Oh, yeah, that was a sweet play.
Down to a second.
It was a sweet play. It was a sweet play.
Yep, desperate times call for
Хорошо
desperate
сделал.
measures.
That's quick thinking. You didn't see me, I can bait him.
Trying to flex that brain of his. Eternal Fire at the moment flexing the muscle, because they are indeed clawing this game back. This is 3 rounds in a row, 2 more to push us into OT. And some late game runway for Woxic's op to try and take off. We saw him drop 2 bodies last round as that pressure was coming out of him in the pistols on B. The rebuy for Maus. And a force for whatever they can afford in the follow-up. That's what they have to try and close this game in regulation. And A-Site has been slightly problematic with those Wicadia short pushes.
Так,
Trade places
я на полсерии, на полшишечки и вернусь.
On his aggressive peaks. That is 3 rounds that I feel Eternal Fire have won off the back of Wicadia's impact. Can they solve him?
Especially if they want to keep coming A.
Да я проснулся, да, под вечер.
But Eternal Fire are growing with strength on both sides a little bit more. And it is very important to keep presence here.
They hit B now. After they go ahead and try to clear out this ramp. And there's a little uncertainty.
They've done a good job, I think. With the smokes down that flash, it's delaying the reclear on the ramp, so here's the lead off. Comes down to the entries now.
Major goes back to A, and Calyx eats a flashbang. Now they realize this commitment's coming into the B hit, and Calyx pressed against green, sees nobody in sight just yet. Finally, Mouse players flood out. 30 seconds to make this work, and Woxic delivers, but Torsi clears green, tucking into the corner. As the bomb is looking to go down, the mid lane denied. Zershan's gonna get nothing. Great recovery from Arcadia. Excellent impact out from Eternal Fire, but bomb down nonetheless. And on top of it, damage is done. The retake to keep this 4-round streak rolling. A clump of Eternal Fire players in cross CT, and Santeras on the off. Then the spray from Shuhei, not enough.
Wow.
And so 4 straight from the Turkish team.
Was that a lineup from Santeras or a flick? The left side of quad, I thought that was a perfect way to play that 2v4, where he might get 1 or 2 kills and cause an absolute tragedy. But instead, it's Mouse who can't sustain in the post plant because the pickoffs keep coming in. So I would say a rare situation where being forced to play retake can still go your way if you play it calmly enough. You know, I think the back generator player not doing anything until Woxic takes his first shot is important, and he actually ends up dying in the situation. But it comes with information as they try to push forward and take over more map control. So this comes down to round 24, folks. After a tied first half, Eternal Fire trying to claw back, getting smarter, getting stronger throughout these rounds and setups. But Mouse have the advantage of being able to collect some data. They know what doesn't work at this point. They've been doing good on the off front as well. Woxic in the same place at the same time.
With a flash first though,
timing shot.
Shuhei takes it right to the chest. The chase is out. Shin gets the second.
Ну все, это нормально.
Back around CT, but are they going over the B construction again? Jimpat wins his duel. That should open the door for the bomb to drop. Santeras in the pocket. But that mid-lurk from Zershan,
he's not known. He's just going to be able to come in from behind.
You'd think. Shooting that one bullet. Torsi looking at his teammate's screen. Has to stay focused as Wakadia comes around. Caught out, but still able to win that fight. Zershan then getting the CT spawn into the back pocket of Mouse. 4 rounds in a row, and now Wakadia gonna have to get the 5th. Working with 19 HP, 2 Ts posted. Mouse will survive the test and move forward 2-0.
2-0, baby. Another 13-11 victory, and Mouse did great with, I think, being as good of a team as they needed to be, as well as having slightly better individuals overall. I think that game comes down to razor-thin margins because Eternal Fire did show a lot of strengths on those fronts too, but they did get outclassed in the more important moments. And that's when, again, Eternal Fire shine a light on, you know, the pistol from
Shuhei. Huge clutch that just, in the end, in hindsight, makes a world of difference.
Absolutely does, and we talked about exertion before, and also in the cast that was mentioned about how you can't always see it necessarily in the stats because he tends to die a lot because he takes risks, but then he can also play rounds like this that avoids them having to go to OT and closing out their game and giving them the 2-0 today.
Definitely impactful on this last round, and it encapsulates all of the qualities that we were talking about when it comes to exertion, right? It's being daring. There's a Molotov, he knows Woxic is in front of the middle, he closes that gap, and after the second kill, he goes through the smoke to the right side. This is the vision that we're talking about. Players who are willing to take the extra risk, and here obviously he's a beautiful closer. 13-11, a game that has delivered massively.
Actually, I thought he did pretty good on both sides of the map. This game was super interesting. The first like 6-7 rounds of this game, it felt like it was all decided on the A ramp. Everything was decided on the A ramp. You either had the entries from Santeras and Wakadia on A ramp, and the round was done and Mouse couldn't defend, or Mouse got those kills and shut them down, and then there was no way for Eternal Fire to get back in. I actually think the key to the first half, and actually the key to the game that allowed Mouse to recover convincingly, was they started playing more passive at that bomb site. They stopped giving them those fights from like round 8 on. They were like, we're just not gonna fight you on A ramp. You can have it, and that's where they activated exertion. You got a couple of those mid pushes going down the ladder, pushing down the stairs, getting tons of information, getting fast frames, and that more passive defense, like that switch up into that philosophy was great for Mouse.
And I think we can rightfully maybe fault Eternal Fire just a little bit for that, because they had a pretty good start to the game, and you're usually not in a position where flanks are going to affect you when you're in the lead. And that's why I get a little bit confused. They play it slightly too much together, the Wolfpack mentality that we like to talk about with them. I think Zershan exploited it as much as possible. The amount of information position he was able to gather on the CT side and let his teammates be very comfortably where they need to be, that's because the flanks and the lurks of the T side of Eternal Fire aren't doing their job. You're supposed to know where the fog of war is, when you can punish, haven't done that.
Actually, an apt quote from Zantares to HLTV just yesterday. He said, "We have mental issues in the team. Sometimes everyone focuses on their crosshair a lot and we don't get all the info." That's what was in play today.
It's crazy. It's what we talked about in the pre-show, isn't it?
Yeah.
It all comes together.
It all
circles back. Here we go. That does mean, though, that for MOUZ we have, you know, a great streak of games when we've seen them right from the RMR to now, 2-0 on the day.
I think what's really cool about both MOUZ's games today is, especially the first one, they started out in a little bit of a deficit, right, down 0-5. This one, they weren't like losing it so heavily, but they were kind of getting punched in the face with some of those entries.
A little bit.
And they found things to switch into, right? I mentioned in the game, I'm not sure Cyclone gets enough credit as a coach, and there's no way for us to know who kind of called for a change in philosophy, but obviously this team has come into this very well geared at a couple different philosophies, a couple different setups that they were able to execute in the series and switch into when things were working exactly the way they wanted it. And that's super impressive to me for a MOUZ team coming into this. That shows they're just well prepared.
Yeah, they are, and I like that they keep on going with what I call the gambles, but they're really well intuition.
Complexity heroic is
coming back into it was one of a team that is very much connected
and
activated just mentally in the game and not lost at all. And we sort of celebrated Major and what he can do as an IGL. Well, here I think Shuhei deserves a little bit too, because he placed his pawns the right way.
Oh, absolutely. He also had a couple of clutches or situations that were hard to win for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was kind of the story.
Еще одну КС.
Дастик, побегаем. Блядь, надо переставить же на эту задротскую сансу ебучую.
Ты же там профили в Logitech можешь выставлять.
Да-да-да, у меня профили есть. На профиле поставил.
Нормально меня понизили, конечно, за вчерашнее. Куда пошел? Какой бы насмерть? Пошли.
Ой, блядь, с этой сенсой тяжело стрелять пока. Запусти компетитив. Раз-два. А, ты такой хочешь?
Да. Устанавливать на турете.
14к.
Ни за что просто.
Бля, может на старую сенсу поставить? Ладно.
Нет, сыграй одну игру, ты же не играл еще.
Нет, я еще не играл. Беда будет.
Предсказывай, где будет противник. Может, ты больше не стреляй.
Посмотрим. Все равно надо привыкать. Так, не хочу это. Ну да, наверное. Бля, Инферно, правда, я бездарно играю.
ты в одну точку стреляй.
Пытаюсь. Да. Дело в сенсе.
У тебя чересчур слишком большой сенсор.
What's up, Scoofs?
Она хороша для какого-нибудь там P90 бегает 360, но...
Ну да, я так и бегаю.
За счет этого ты убивал.
Блять, что-то много банан пошло.
Мин.
Прям сайт беги.
Шорт, лонг.
Шорт, лонг. Нет никого.
Ладно, они сами все сделают. Я пошел тогда.
Шорт.
Шорт у меня один.
Один только?
It's A probably.
Да.
It's A, 2A. Эпс.
Апсы и шорт. Уф, тяжело.
Ой-ой-ой. Я даже не увидел, мне в голову прилетело.
Half by blue. Sell your armor.
Let's go.
Тут.
Grenade out.
Orange, go B.
Bomb has been planted.
It's B, bro. What are you doing, Orange?
No silence today.
Terrorists win.
А ну-ка.
Guys, do you want to win or not?
Ой, блядь. Стратег ебучий нашелся.
Заткнись и выиграем.
I won't win, but I always get to wrong teammates for this.
Почему у нас 4 на Б идут?
Не знаю.
Я вот реально не понимаю. Уже близко.
Поэтому нет, я хочу.
Максимально странная.
Ты где этот один чувак?
On side. Wait.
Сайт.
Bomb has been planted.
Go push what you waiting for.
Flashbang.
Wait.
Go flash.
I'm dead.
Успейте?
Blue defuse!
Не успел.
Not you,
Уходи.
blue defuse! Oh my
I
god,
have
stupid
time.
team.
I have time.
Не успел.
О май гад.
Хорош, парень.
Я поставил жестко.
Через смог хедшот.
Подпрыгнул, посмотрел, жахнул. Так визжит, конечно.
Да как? Ты спиной был. Сука.
Second meat was. Where are you gonna put them, boy?
You get lucky timing.
Я один, да.
Нет, у тебя есть.
Тоже прошу. Я нормально там там.
Why you don't give info, guys? They have bomb, they planting bomb. I don't know what's happened on map. Guys, why are you talking? Please, more info.
О, я гряный даже попал втроем.
Нормально. Гряный хорошо попал.
I will win you this game, but if you give me just info, it's all.
Так, я, наверное, фулл эко сделал. Иначе пиздец. Хотя надо покупать.
Go back, go back.
Flashbang out. They cheating.
Come back.
No. Go back, go back.
Пизду.
Неплохо. Наши... А, это не ты. Да, ты можешь увидеть его в лонгу. Да, вон там. Давай, как я учил тебя, поставь прицел, бей.
Синий, ты русскоговорящий же?
Да.
Yes.
Хочешь выиграть или нет?
Не принципиально.
Нахуй ты
Он в
забыл,
пати
что
с
ли?
другим долбоебом. Зачем ты
Время
говоришь?
убиваю.
Так, блядь, давайте не страдать хуйней, просто быстро выиграем катку и все, и закончим.
Мне главное час
Он в пати
провести.
желтым.
Ну и?
Чего?
Ладно, я играю как-нибудь.
Не, ну типа ты, у тебя есть микрофон, сказать, там есть чел, там есть чел, там, все, максимум пускать.
Дропнул все.
Не, ну ты так говоришь, типа мы инфу не даем. Ты даешь инфу? Я от тебя 0 инфы вообще слышу.
Ну потому что я то, что я вижу, я сразу убиваю, типа, окей, давай.
Просто нихуя не читайте их по карте, вы не понимаете, где кто находится.
Ага, рассказывай, блядь.
А ты зачем пушишь, типа, йоу? Сейчас типа секонд, я
Вы,
знаю.
чтобы вы хотя бы добыть раскрыть.
Двое секонд.
Я тебя оставлю.
Лонг.
Наверх, целись.
Всю инфу вынул вам на блюдечке.
Апсы. Смотри, смотри, смотри. Ну, блядь.
Ну не в сайте еще, блядь.
Понимаете?
Зеленый просто меня продал на лонгу.
Шорт авик. Выйди на широком, он угол контролит.
Нах, там везде, блядь.
Кому ты говоришь?
Ну вот смотри, вы играть не умеете и больше пиздите. У вас лонг лежит смог, один чувак на А-сайте, а вы вдвоем стоите в библиотеке.
Чел, я этот аккаунт взял на буст. Ты мне говоришь про то, что я не умею играть?
Да.
Сколько буст стоит у тебя?
Я помогаю другу, я его пущу.
Я вообще ММ не играю.
Потом он бущенный мне попадется, я уверен, нахуй.
Бустеры эти все собрались.
Вы играете максимально бездарно, еще пытаетесь кого-то обучать. У вас чувак с Б пришел и то раньше начал вставлять.
АВП меда.
Не стреляй.
Мид вышли.
Еще один максимум может быть. Мы можем его вдвоем с разменом выйти выебать.
Хорош, пацаны. Я нихуя не делал, выиграли раунд. Вы можете стильные.
Не вижу авик.
А где он?
Ну я
А вон он,
инфу дал, чел убил.
Я мне просто батя позвонил, поэтому я ничего не делал.
Разъебали их.
Знал, что в тюрьме телефоны разрешены.
Прикинь. Тут еще интернет есть и компьютер.
Эти шутнички, блядь.
На широком, Антон, не на шифте. Мы даем вот такой смог, и все, это наша позиция. Мы не идем, их трое.
Апса подгорел.
Я тебе оставляю смог. И пошел его. Заберешь его, потом кинешь.
Апсы Д.
А лонг отпустили? Все, забирай лонг, иди. Я лонг заберу, иди в сайт.
Шорт. Ну, сайт заходит, я его ебану. В закрытую игры. Я апсы будет, чел.
Научишь меня эдиты делать?
Что такое эдиты?
Ну, типа, берешь какой-нибудь отрезок из видео, сейчас покажу эдит.
Редактирование видео имеет в виду Тёма.
Я обожаю.
От английского edit.
Ладно, научу, но не сейчас. Я сейчас играю.
Эдиты. Смешно.
Свою комнату арена. Молодец. Ты ответственно работаешь.
Да, рандомно,
Колер дед. Один на миду, другой обстрел.
Second.
Ребята, иди.
Second dead. Еще один.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Иди ты.
Изи-пизи, lemon squeezy.
Что мы можем, знаешь, как делать? Я даю, ты дальний даешь молик, либо и хаешки, потом идем
На каре. Хороший поставил.
За тройка. И на фуле. Либо КТ ушел.
No скопчик.
Иди ты.
Я ближний могу всегда.
Я теперь хаешечку вот такой. А я не видел.
Ну не могу.
Можно же на смоку на КТ ставить и все, пацаны. Сайте.
Сколько интересно не дамажено.
Классно. Вулкан.
Да не будет больше.
И гробы. Гроба Авик тоже взял.
Сейв.
Хватит без шраки.
Минус 57.
У тебя точно все с памятью хорошо? Постирай его.
Я на Б, короче.
Набери воду в чайник. И поставь. Угу. Завтра мы едем, кстати, в Башкирию.
Уйди, сыграем пассивно. Ты в соло.
Да ёб твою.
Пачка у меня.
Бомбова.
Пачка в арке. Есть дроп синий, придем, забери.
Не надо.
Ласт, у меня ласт. Раз в Библии.
Вот. Матч-то на повышение.
У меня есть кол, вы можете его послушать или нет?
Послушайте, можно.
Не, ну типа смотрите, бегите все секонд, я дам смог на шорт, мы забегаем лонг, оттуда на б через КТ. Если не хотите делать, сразу говорю, не канает. Но если делаете, то надо все бежать секонд,
Ну,
не разбивать
послушали.
окон, и просто все лонг.
Да, побежали на базу.
Просто плюсуем. Дал смог.
Я не запомнил, если честно, я просто...
Я ничего не понял, он куда-то
Дал
там...
флеш лонг. Ой, флеш шорт. Еще флеш шорт даю.
Да, вообще пиздец. Просто глич.
Получаем по ебалу и...
Вот так надо.
КТ.
Ух.
Понял?
Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту.
Я занят пока лишь.
Не начинал ДТ делать.
Хорошо. То есть плохо. Это я бущу аккаунт твоему другу.
Ты тоже.
А лоутаби бустишь, да?
Да, не напрягаюсь.
Китов нету. Хорош. Оранжевый, дропни пачку, пожалуйста.
Бамби. Чёрч.
Для вас.
Оставь.
Видимо, на сайте где-то был.
Да, я помог. Калаш у нас заберите.
Хорош.
Набрал. Воу.
Ну, на балконе,
Его убили.
Нет.
Стало ему хорошо. Ты бы мной гордился.
Лома лонг, лонг лоу. Пачка в тупой стоит.
Да еб твою мать. Как же я не вовремя. Ой, бля, в упоре.
Гений.
Там же.
One more B and 2A. You should go B.
Один, скорее всего, уже подошел.
One short, go B. Guys, he's stupid.
I'm going to plant this thing.
А что толку?
Игра сама выиграется, вообще нихуя не делала. Не попадаю, не реагирую, ничего. Все бездарность.
В упоре почти всегда зажимаешь. Мы с тобой стреляли с ничего 10 патронов. Буст посмотри.
Гоби.
Go. Go B.
Да, могу. В меду один.
В смоку сидел, что ли?
Да, в смоку сидел. Здоровый смог дать. Яду.
Разов.
Девайс у меня бегает.
Second mid. Чё убился? Second last.
Следующий раунд сыграю и забью. Я вот зарашу.
У меня сейчас денег нет. Нет, есть. Дал смог. Море дал гранату.
Okay, I'm setting it down here.
3, 2, 3, 4, можно проверить.
Church is coming behind Church coming. Church.
Тут чувак сити.
Там же.
Тоже, это сити у нас.
Там же фиолетовый, блядь.
Alright, good on you.
А как он там? Между этими.
Мид.
Ты так ешь?
One more long. Бля, нахуй вы нагрелись. Тупой может быть. Жаль, да, здесь. Шорт, скаут. Хорош. Один банан был, второй тоже.
Ну, убейте кого-то, блядь.
Класс, библа. Сзади, зелёный, да. Сорян, зазнал.
Сейчас он, блядь, за трабана раздаст нахуй.
Союз ушел.
Прикольный сериал.
А он Алекс.
У меня роллы есть. Что, выиграем?
Да.
Так хорошо, когда люди потеют. Пытаются.
Вы next будете, пацаны?
КС, да, наверное.
Throwing a Molotov.
Я не знаю, блядь. Пикнул вообще тут.
Отходим, назад.
Куда отходите, блядь?
Бойлер, зеленый.
Где он себя ебал?
Не, я сам заебался.
Я как место отдал.
Да. Да, блядь, этот ебучий Арквард, он же переделал. Он сейчас, если за темную сторону, то у него спарки вылетают меньше, чем за секунду.
А почему за темную
сторону
только?
Ну, у него, в смысле, короче, вот это поле, которое вторая эта фишка, теперь только за белую дает промахи. А за темную вот дает спарки крутит.
Да ладно.
Зачем так сделали?
Типа, если он за Рейдиант, он такой герой?
Они наркоманы.
Ну, типа разные герои.
Это уже дисбаланс.
Тир.
У него причем все фишки, все отличаются друг от друга, ну то есть за свет тьму.
То есть, грубо говоря, не читая карты, раньше все было четко, ровно. Честно?
И вот у него спарки срабатывают меньше, чем за секунду. Ну то есть он ставит спарку даже не в середину, ты в нее попадаешь. И ты просто не уходишь из нее.
Я уже, наверное, в июле будет 2 года, как я перестал.
Все трое на. Рабы, коты и дарки.
Ну ладно.
Уже лонг чел может быть. У них этот зеленый играет на Ави, он играет агрессивно, он любит занимать, короче, апсы. Сейчас я попробую его ебануть. Нужно просто не умереть, короче. Потом спокойно разыграем. Когда его нету, вообще легко будет выиграть.
Антон, какие 13700? Успокойся.
Антон, он через играет.
3 килла.
3 килла я не видел.
Флешка есть, оказывается?
Не, мы же с Антоном нашли это так-то. Мапхак. Как играть и видом.
Там хуйте у меня сзади.
Хуй у тебя сзади?
На дастике, да.
Как будто бы не Варик сейчас играть, а? Потому что что-то они там хуйней ставят.
Да не, мы уже слили, я уже чувствую.
Да не плачь, блядь.
Все, на баран
родной,
сбегаю.
если ты тоже чуть включишься, мы выиграем.
Я включусь?
Скажи это желтому.
Не,
желтому
оранж.
это скажи, блядь.
Да, желтый не
С 3
может,
киллами
заметь, хуй. Мы четвером можем вытащить, как бы. Нам
Да,
желтый
да,
не
желтый
обязательно.
Желтый хуй. Ой, желтый хуй.
Я могу вам вытащить. Если вы будете видны.
О, желтый смог.
Бля, бомба.
Мне нужна помощь, а у меня по-любому нет контроля. Я не контроль, я лечу.
Таковая взять нельзя было, да?
Хорош.
Йо, блядь. Видал Тёма?
Банан.
Банан. Хорош.
Зачем ты ему калаш отдал?
Ну, стараюсь.
Кто старается?
Фиолетовый.
Да, он пиздец потеет. Ну, бля, я бананчик открыл. Все, один раунд сделал.
Зелен ты можешь дропнуть синему.
Олдскульно. Получил свой 4-й килл, Тимур.
Хорош.
Запушим банан. Ну как хочешь, сейчас взорвался. Ой, это стак Б, пойдем на.
Там не пройдем. ВБ нахуй. Тип на.
А че меня сам убивает? Кстати,
Бля, допа еще играть.
Перетягивайтесь. Сейчас фиолетовый откроет вам.
А, у вас 12, что ли? Я что-то не вижу ваш аватар.
Идите быстро на, бегите.
У меня двое, Да, блядь, двое у меня там. Блок, играйте блок.
Как смысла нет? Он не открывал даже, не старался. Он шумел, взял.
Один на апса.
На, беги, на бэт не откроешь.
15 секунд на допу мы выходим, короче, ГГ.
Апсах был, может остаться там.
Да на Б надо было идти просто и все.
Но он бы не успел там поставить.
Он еще мог спокойно снять.
В теории, да.
Ладно, ребят, все, я покушал. Сейчас все сделаю.
Я побежал на банан. Один раунд должен сделать.
Я не видел, кстати, мид пропрыгивает.
Не пропрыгивают.
Они обычно смогут.
Здесь, конечно.
Сосуд.
Есть, да? Север.
Там любители спины, конечно.
Дарки, по-моему.
Минус 68.
Да, я дебил.
Кнык, 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 кнык.
Можем, по сути, ходешки закидывать в смок на мид, потому что он пропрыгивает и идет бойлер. Если, типа, одновременно кинем хорошие две грены, либо он сдохнет, либо он будет красный. По сути, лонг можно вообще изи проходить, я думаю.
Да, не
У них
издеваюсь.
зеленый, он играет... Зеленый у них играет, короче, больше под шартом апсы. Потом камбэк оранжевый тоже играет в той стороне. Ну, сейчас, кстати, он под Б был. Я его ёбнул, сейчас под Б. Потом кто еще у них играет? У них желтый играет под А. У них фиолетовый, короче, и синий в основном под Б играют. У них камбэк стоит либо на лонгу, либо на Б, либо вот пару раз он апсы пробегал. Но зеленый он постоянно играет шорт апсы. И он очень быстро ротейтится. Какая-то левая хуйня, он уже,
Ебать,
блядь,
этот психолог какой-то, нахуй. Всех
летит.
знает. Лайф-коуч, нахуй.
На этом ранге бесполезно что-то предсказывать.
Сколько нам надо? Как же хуёво. Не летит.
Как вам инферно вообще, пацаны?
Кал.
Лучший дизайн карты.
Deploying smoke shield.
Есть флеш? Лонг?
Ну как менять?
Бля, пиздец, просто в одного.
Бомбу захвати.
Я как магнит, блядь.
А вы, кстати, не проверили в апсах все, да? А, там
Я
4
чисто.
тяжка под Б была. Все нормально.
Бойлер.
Библиотека.
Найс пуш.
Хорош.
Авик,
Не, он нормально на импульс играл. Где Авик?
в магазине.
Я тебе дропну.
Я тебе... А, у меня...
Так я авик просил же.
Я могу... Давай, я дропну.
У меня есть навик.
Какой тебе авик? Ты чё, гараж? Какой два авика, блядь? Какой два авика?
Не, вот сейчас желтый у нас заберет. Last round, похуй, бабки, блядь, не проблема. Я на дальше
Чем хочет, тем бегает.
Срете, вы срете сейчас 100%, блядь.
Ой, блядь, какой
А, у меня авик был.
Сорян.
Блядь, это пизда, блядь.
Еще эйс даст, эйс что, эйс даст.
Fire in the hole. Smoking. Throwing fire. Flashbang.
В принципе, мы пошумели, можете пода уйти, я перетяжку заберу. Мы 5 в 4.
На второй мид смотрели?
Лонго.
Сайта.
КТ-1. Двое КТБ чисто. Можете, хотя можете один КТ убежал, коцаный, минус 40. Ебла Т, ласт тоже будет. Хорош. Ровно 40 я ему, кстати, снес. Синий, желтый подтвердил, 60 снес.
Let's go, everyone. Мой мать
Тут
не
лучше
отчаялись.
брать первые арморы, пацаны, потому что у них все еще калаши будут.
А, бля, колда играют.
Сейчас доиграем. Так надо быстрее выиграть.
Плюс
Ну
350
ну,
долларов.
Тимура кидаем.
Блять, дело же не
Бедняга
в арморе
ждал.
сейчас. Просто 350 баксов лишнее.
Клоуда играют?
Да.
Кто-то играет.
Жо. Это же студонал все-таки.
Оставайся в апсах, я шорт возьму.
Есть апсы.
Болер взял. Болер дед, я проспал. Мид выходит.
Тётя Марина грустит.
Это главный мальчик, главный
Чё,
герой,
чё,
который
псы?
встречается. Да, он на самом деле не катается на велосипеде, это компьютерный график. Да.
Выходит.
Это компьютерный график.
Отошел. Убежал.
Ебать, он дичь
Возьми лонг,
ставит.
Возьми.
Без головы один, без головы.
Двое, короче, один лонг и один красный в сайте.
А, это проеб, короче, понятно.
Не, если мы эти два сейчас заберем, изи будет.
Это проеб. Ну, пацаны, все проеб. Два элька проеб. Это проеб. Как так жить вообще? Я бы повесился.
Хочет выиграть парень. Я ему не помогаю. Мне его жалко.
Качай, качай. Нахуй ты в этой помойке играешь?
Ты мне?
Конечно. Так почти.
Так, я играю. Так, меня друг попросил, я же.
Don't push.
Нормально.
Смог, шот. Зеленый, могу флешку дать? Ты чекнешь просто. Я думаю, ротация ПТ у него сейчас.
Да, я пошел. Я запушу.
Просто смог. Может шорт поглядывать.
Это точно, да. Подпуш желтый. Мы с оранжевым закроем.
Вас банан или мид, или яма где-то там. Бежал. Я бежал. Все, сейчас можно закрывать.
Кто
Чтобы
играет у вас
объединить
на
было,
ланге?
поняли?
Пойдем мид закинем. Это лизером.
Идем.
Просто гранаты не закинем. Пикать не будем.
Я могу молик дать, ты хаешь.
Я первый молик дам.
Или вот оранжи хае может закинуть. Он не будет. Синий, стягивайся, уходи.
Да не надо, они подоиграют.
Только у нас желтый сейчас под Б. Не дай бог, сейчас это Б будет.
Это не будет Б.
Смог на Б. Бля.
Б. Да он вытащит, я его тренировался. Живи,
Да ебаный насос, синий. Тебе просто нужно было...
Поздравляю с ничьей.
Даю молик за тройку. Тройка, дай. Желтый банан.
Один банан.
Да, банан, да.
Время. Банане. Один
банан.
Банан.
Ну,
ГГ, хорош.
Ебать, ртейк сложный был. Спасибо, пацаны, за катку.
Спасибо за это.
Не, мы проебали.
Моральная поддержка. Вообще бездарная игра в эту игру.
Не сегодня.
Так, ладно, 100
Не, ну так жить нельзя. Мы проебали.
Ну,
Так.
запускай.
Сейчас запущу.
DPI.
Так, монитор у меня включен. А, у меня запущено было, оказывается. Так, где мы смотреть будем? На ютубе?
Да что подключай, если мы одно и то же смотрим? Скажи.
Situation. If they take Shush out early, then it's such an easier site to take later.
PGL
Just ruins the structure on the CT side, but it's Shush to come out ahead this time
Кто
around.
это играет у нас?
Клауда, кстати.
Grenades allow for Nerds to slide in behind Tetris. You said it earlier, it's not a complexity game unless things get close.
Yeah.
Киберспорт.
And every risk is a calculation.
Далее. Я пока занят, хорошо? Я очень
But just because you
занят,
lose on that, there
пожалуйста.
has to be another layer to the plan. You cannot simply give up because it's 5v4.
Я понял, хорошо, я с тобой
So
потом
what is
этим
it,
вопросом
JT?
займусь.
Because right now, they're staring at the face of 3 CTs inconspicuously posted up in the B site, ready for an exec to
Так,
come this way.
куда, кстати, где они?
And we see the intention of complexity right now.
А где
They're
статик?
walking into the pitfall. Trap's been
Точно
set, they're
Клауда
about to
статик?
spring it.
Должны быть. Ну,
Nerds
Клауда
flushed out
должны
of a
играть.
couple forward spots, the flashbang from the CT
Может,
spawn
кто-то еще
seems to come out.
доигрывает.
Nice opening from JT. He does what Floppy couldn't in getting that entry. Pressure towards quad. They've got a player stuck in that smoke. Nerds is known. Meanwhile, so many other rotates
Это
that it
комплексный
seems
герой.
the CT should be able to hold.
Смотрю.
Holzer dodging these gunfights. The assistance
Они
comes out
должны
from
доиграть
Grim.
еще.
He
Должны
could
играть
get
где-то.
in with the double. And Grim
А,
gets
у меня
stolen.
не
I
походу.
mean, you give him as much money as one. He could just
А, не.
get him fours and drop him all half long. It's crazy. It's not even a feature of the CT side at all. That's unreal work by him. Not only this game, but last map
All
too.
the time.
Yeah, that's a close round. And complexity nearly fought their way back into a 4v5. They got so obsessed with Nerds in the smoke, and they knew that there was a chance to get him spamming as he was running back and forth, and they had him so low. But it did slow down the scale. It did give time for Nikodas to make his way over towards the site. And now, round 24.
Straight back in. Testes has the angle. Leash gets the kill, but now he's onto the sidelines. And Complexity
Похоже на
having to
допы.
forego a bit of control of ramp early. You run back that last round, you can't blame them for getting concerned of Nerds in smoke. At a moment's notice, he comes swinging, just like now, posted on the gap of middle,
Мне нравится, как Эрич играет.
awaiting
Nerds is
this walkout.
5 and 16 on a good angle. Gets his first and a second frag as well with the bomb down.
All he needed.
Хорош.
All rounds lead to this one. And while boosted up, he holds the line. Surely pushing Heroic into overtime. While Halzerk creeps up onto the A play, he's lost his teammate towards B. The bomb possession still on the other side, but look at this situation we have.
3 минуты, да, может, они доиграют.
That's all they need. Had they not spotted that, things get weird. Instead, it's Heroic. Supposedly...
Call it, Connor, call it.
Supposedly locking in OT, but they've also given away the bomb.
They have.
Halzerk has had high highs and low lows in this complexity jersey. Distance in between the 3 players left. He gets another headshot. Okay. He is halfway through this 1v4. He has time to go back to A. The player sits inside of the B site towards Tetris.
He can smell it.
It could be a costly mistake choosing B. Not that he gets to know, but a Molotov. That's perfect. Perfect for the Tetris player. He was piecing it together, but Heroic hold on. And of course, it's not a complexity game unless it gets close.
Unless it gets close, baby. That's just the way it is. Man, that Nerds was 5 and 16 and got the 2K spray down in mid. And again, I love the idea from JT because that's where they got some of their most dangerous rounds out on T side. Halzerk was very close to being able to win that. He would have known that the last player was waiting on the flank probably for the fallback at ladder or inside of mid, and really had a good inventory of what he had to go up against on the map with the right utility to do it. But doesn't win the trade, of course. Shush puts up another good hold. But gotta say, they were formidable when it came to dealing with Shush, and also brave about going back towards him, you know, after that great defense that he put up earlier on the half. They didn't run away from their problem. But we are also now in overtime.
PGL мажор, да?
Да, это мажор.
Immediately into their only timeout and into overtime.
Да, не.
I get it. You want to start off right, and you are also on T side. Such close situations. If it wasn't for absolute peak rifling for Nikodas in a couple of moments, this game would be over already.
I love the fact that we've been talking about Nikodas on the rifle, and then we get this clean attempt out of Halzerk in the last round as well, right? His HSP on the AK has been solid.
True, they've both been great on the rifles.
Which isn't really something, you know, I tout Halzerk for, but trying to match up to his counterpart in this head-to-head with Heroic. Nerds so active.
Oh man, this is an amazing idea. I think to try first. If it's all or nothing, right? I mean, Alicia has been killing him inside of ladder, but he's let one go by. Grim
leaning back, right?
Someone's gonna die because of this, you know. Unless someone gets lucky and watches the flank, Nerds has sort of free reign to catch people off.
But also at the same time, really waiting to make this move. He's now starting to get active. It's a long road if you're going to make zero sound. But because of the utility usage outside of B...
You don't want to do... If you're... Let's say you're going B, right? You don't want to throw too much utility in this direction, so people are always facing forward. Let Nerds do the rest.
Floppy and JT are going to be the victims of this.
На YouTube, в смысле?
Grim, unfortunately, letting one slip through the net. Now Nerds, he's going to wait to see what else. Gets himself both. Wonderful rifle work from Nerds.
What a time to get back in the game. 3 players left on the A site, 45 seconds. They can still win.
Sure, but it's going to take a clean execution and somebody to pick up slack. Double man disadvantage. Grim hands busy on the plant.
That's an interesting smoke gap, though.
Alish, he's in the middle of it all, right? These 3 smoke grenades creating the smallest of pockets, but Tesses has that game sense to shoot through. So bombs down, but it's going to be tough. Nerds still on the flank. Coming back at this ramp attack. Halzerk exposed, instant headshot. Nerds with 3 kills to be proud of in this round.
And then disappears.
Bomb's pretty far gone, but it's covered in the smoke and covered in the CTs as well. A flawless opening to the CT side of overtime.
Oh, that's brutal.
Thanks to the Nerds top mid push.
Yeah, because they had a full default on A, B, and mid, and Grim just got up the ladder late. They used the spawn to their advantage, and listen, it looks like genius, but it's also a risk, right? When Nerds comes out this quickly to walk by ladder, hoping that they aren't going to default here. Complexity have done a good job of conditioning Heroic to believe that they are going to be holding mid in the default. So, but it's the bravery that pays off, and I think overtime is where you do welcome aggressive pick plays like that after a whole half of being very thorough and careful and reading into your opponent to try to flip the table and change it up completely.
he's flipping tables and Complexity pounding on them because, God, that's got to be frustrating. You're trying to set up this B fake with 2. And all of a sudden, this sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach when the 3 guys A know that everything is known to Heroic. A deflating start to their overtime endeavor, but 2 more to claw back. Elige, he's been good throughout the map, but there's also been a few rounds where he gets...
He's getting countered now a little bit.
On ramp. This time, gets the contact, can't chase all the way forward. And then that next peak is actually caught out by Halzerk. So damage on JT and Halzerk. But at the same time, Complexity will take this 5v4.
Yeah, great bodyguarding right there. 5v4, and you can see that the squeeze on the B defense is loosened. Shush will go into a rotator spot up in heaven and wait and watch mid.
See what Floppy or Grim can get going elsewhere on the map. Pressure on construction. You know, Shush right now, he's very far out of it. Found out in the bomb site, Elige.
Oh, but Shush took out Grim at the same time.
Wonderful grenade out of Kixan. This is man advantage reclaimed by Heroic. The numbers on the A site spotted. Great spray control from Elige. You expect nothing less. And as Halzerk plants slightly off default, Kixan tries to spray wildly and will not find any damage. No target hit. Another spray. And Halzerk falling back, catches the smoke push.
Oh my God.
Elige is making the difference in this one, right? Finally given a chance to stay alive late into the round, but a clutch attempt queued up from Kixan. You've got 1 stuck behind sandbags, and he is on the hunt, on the prowl, with a kit on his back and a flash in hand. Reconfirming Elige is stuck here, but Elige smells blood in the water and comes through with an instrumental moment in OT.
Yeah, the lesson learned. Don't let him live too long here for Heroic. And the times they could find him in the opening play, of course, they'll look back on fondly because a lot of rounds recently, Elige hasn't been able to get his impact as soon as he is able to stay around into this point. Past the 30-second mark, he continues to frag. But they were doing a good job of countering. At least Complexity get one back, tie this up 13-13.
What a reaction spray from Elige on the player boosted back A site. Just trying to get into the cover. Challenged when he wasn't expecting it. Ooh. And recovers.
And it nerds on an op. Okay, so they'll have Shush. They'll still give him free reign over the B site. Nerds doesn't have to move since he has this op. They're not coming in with a nade set inside of mid. They're just waiting back and letting Ramp do the rest. Okay. How does niko stick around?
It makes no sense. Not only getting that labored kill to Elige, but then the second sets up Tesses. And with that, Nerds can just stay stoic on the angle in mid.
Never had to move.
May not have to.
How did niko, miss half his spray, reset?
Makes no sense. That had to have been missed shots from Complexity's behalf as well, right?
Yeah, big time.
And I mean, those are no chumps down there. You're dueling versus Elige, the best Complexity have. niko is just glowing with the rifle. And as Floppy tries to get into this B hit, the last attempt of Complexity to take a second on this C half. It's damage versus the upper, but he keeps his head down, and Shush is going to make sure that that door on the B site is closed.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we're seeing Nerks on the op before you see niko on it, and it actually works out beautifully.
And then on top of that, niko goes for, what, a deep ramp fight?
Yeah, he could have done that with the op as well. It's maybe a live evolution of roles.
Man, who is that?
Watching it. That's and JT right after. No bullets go right over his head. It's not the time to miss.
What a contrast from the round prior where Elige was looking good deep in the magazine.
No kidding.
No time to cry about it. Complexity trailing by 1. Into the defense. And Heroic onto the side where they have posted big numbers here in Copenhagen. Vertigo T-side has done them well. They're going to start slow and silently. There is nobody inside that B site. Complexity go for the double lineup middle, and they get fully Molotoved off of the site. There is nobody there to stop them.
T's have to be... Just make sure they don't get picked off when the site hit comes in. Complexity can still pull off a retake. Little utility has been used from the CT side, and it'll start to come in. There's one.
This ominous mid lurk starts to come out. Floppy getting the better of that one. So yeah, you lost your bomb site, but now you've queued up a 5v3 retake. TSS, Nerds, and Shush look to hold this one off. The construction players come in with the first, and this one seems to be going swimmingly until Nerds comes out and pulls one back. TSS, it's a double kill. As Complexity get corralled into this funnel of a fight in mid. Total stoppage unless Holzer can clutch it. And he's got this last one pinned behind box. He knows where you are, Nerds. And Nerds holds, waiting for the swing. The close approach is key, and Holzer will make sure that doesn't slip through their fingertips.
Oh my god. There is an air of discomfort when you get a site that is completely open and you put the bomb down knowing all the retake utility is still around, right? The reason why you default towards the A site, draw out utility, so in the late round it doesn't exist. So you're careful about putting the bomb down, and you do. And then you have the lurk come out and it fails. And then you have another trade within the site that Elige finds, and suddenly Heroic aren't supposed to win this round at all. And then TSS just starts chopping off heads from the side, and it feels like tragedy is about to strike once again. But finally, Halzerk has his chance to shine, comes through with the AUG, shaves down Nerds, and pushes Heroic into a timeout. And maybe the frustration can subside again a little bit here for Complexity.
Near 2 versus 5 out of nowhere with TSS pressed close into the retake.
Yeah.
Because that is the beauty of that closest corner. When there's a lot of guys flooding off of the connector, it's tough to get you out of there. He's got support on the bomb site with him. They come rushing over the waterfall, and it almost costs them everything. Complexity tie back up at 14, anybody's game. And for 2-0 nonetheless, to guarantee yourself 3 best-of-3 opportunities to fight for the Royal Arena. This is a golden ticket. Only got one. Wallbang gets a bit of damage onto Grim.
Бля, ничего допыта.
Да, допытные, неровно играют. Не, ну выиграют, скорее всего, Heroic, они сильнее.
And with a lot of utility pressure, they don't want Heroic to take this ramp for free, and that opens the door for Grim to take a bit of a gamble, pressing out around smoke.
They peeled all the way back. This is actually kind of scary. The T's, they might think they have completely left instead. They're still waiting. The push comes down. It's punished. No, they have the wrong idea entirely. Heroic will absolutely punish after showing so many players and so much utility. Complexity can't believe their eyes.
Smoke wall goes up. Late lurk from middle as well for Nerds. Queued. That gets cleared out. Elige is going to keep his presence of mind, and this deep boost on the backside continues to help the hold. Holzer on the AUG presses out, catches them with damage, but they're both still alive.
Oh my god.
Still though, 20 health between the two of them. There's another smoke for Kixan to try and set up Shush, who has been wonderful everywhere across this map, both sides. 15 seconds to the clock. They have to try to press this in, but it's also going to be costly. Shush looking to go forward with the bomb plant. It's going to be coverage from Kixan demanded. There's the pressure out. There's the clear of the bomb site. And there's Complexity's 15.
Yeah, it's a call out. It's beautiful here for Complexity after things go nearly, they went South African, okay, down that ramp with JT, walking down there to get killed. And then you'd think, okay, well, man, they have the wrong read. They get outplayed entirely.
Тёма,
for
ты что делаешь? А вы КС смотрите?
Да.
Понял. Ты нам 5-й там нужен был. Да.
And the AUG does the rest of the work. This crisscross coverage between Halzerk watching short on the site box, right? He has vision just over top of the site. While combined with the boost on white, Heroic just walking to 2 separate angles, and it costs them bodies, but at least they afford the full rebuy. Looking to challenge and push us to double OT.
Я ее не удалял, я вот только пару месяцев назад ее удалил. Я в кастомке иногда играю, они пиздатые.
Brewing Grim! Able to snap down on it. Kixan falls. Nikodos with the AWP has an answer. But there's a chance to depart if you're Complexity. Grim will lock into this close corner, and now no longer can he leave. Shush opens up the smoke, goes for the clear, and takes him. That is big. That is right back to a 3v3.
He's so good at that, going fishing. Off the breaking open a smoke into the 3-on-3. Anything goes at this point. Complexity have to spread the map. They need to, I think this is the point of the round where you make either the blind gamble, stack towards the site and go for a retake, or you go for the reclear on an A ramp. But I don't know about spreading it just like this. They're kind of hoping it's A, keeping eyes on B at the same time.
Они поднимаются по лестнице на
Б. This is the fourth attempt that Complexity have had to close this map. That sea of utility bombards the B site. This could be Floppy's most glorious moment of the map. Through and around, but they pop open his cover. They take man advantage, and they could very well take the round with it. Halzerk survives the onslaught, but the frag grenade takes him out. And JT, how much can he do on his own? They've planted their bomb, they've pressed up against him, but they all do have half health. It's a tough one. It's a desperate attempt, but he has to try to fight forward. Close corner could be occupied, it's not. But as he inches closer, that op is already trained on him. One shot, all they need. And Heroic, a fourth save in the face of a Complexity win.
And we have beautiful use of our new CS2 mechanics on display with the nade blowing open the smoke and the A ramp for Shush to get his first kill into a second one to expose Floppy, who was trying to phase it on the B defense in a situation where they obviously they could have just stayed behind it and fought from there, but they didn't expect a second nade to come out when they were trying to scale, because that blowing that nade that smoke open was optional for the T side to approach. They could have gone in from the outside of the site, but Heroic again really playing CS2, and we have seen teams play CSGO way too much in this game.
Oh, nerds. Bloodshed top mid.
Зря на самом деле, надо, их же почти все букмекерки спортируют, надо минуту давать перерывы, мне кажется, чтобы люди могли ставки успеть поставить.
Halzerk's walking out right into the AK.
Oh my god, how did he not see that?
Boost
but it still might be okay.
Oh god,
maybe not.
Now it's a missed chance. You give away the boost as well, right? They know there's two CTs on lane. He goes for the shot and they all
ошибка, да,
die
граната,
nothing.
молик
This is a
кинул
calamity
не глубоко,
inside the
и
A
чувак
site.
вышел
That is
и
flawlessness from
захерачил.
Heroic.
Вроде маленькая ошибка, но зароляла очень серьезно.
He was so hyper focused down the ramp.
Так бы он не вышел в молик.
Obviously, it was still on his screen for sure. Nikodas walking right by that,
Может,
creating a
покажешь, что
timing for himself. That got Halzerk
бездарный
killed.
молик.
That is nightmare fuel.
Yeah, it is. At least it didn't happen last round. We're still at the start of a new overtime. And we didn't get here because they're both playing perfect.
Fair enough.
Они, по сути, все одинаково стреляют, ну, плюс-минус.
It's a good warm-up for the major complexity.
Yeah, right?
Чисто на гранатах.
Yeah, you skip opening stage.
You don't do the challenger stage, you gotta get all your rounds in now.
Getting their reps in, no doubt.
Ну да, да, уже, мне кажется, в кейсе уже все приблизительно одинаково стреляют. Раньше, мне кажется, было, что кто-то там, ну, очевидно, перестреливал.
Вот, видишь этот молик? Или это свой молик был?
Это их же молик был. Потому что они кинули молик, чтобы в буст ебануть.
Тогда ладно.
Они же буст увидели, и они молик туда ебанули.
А смоков ничего у них не было, да, в ответ говорят.
Их там уже двое осталось, они просто убегали.
Пошел на мой лицо.
Никодос.
It has been pure value on this rifle.
What a ragtag group of gamers Heroic really is, right? The comeback of Nikodas. Finding Nerds in this lineup was almost like, oh god, is he gonna have his potential wasted? Like there was question marks around this Heroic when they formed.
Yeah, but there was also intention. You know, they paid for Kixan to come in from Apex.
Yeah, Saw handpicked him.
Yes, and so grabbing Saw picking Kixan, the scouting done for this team.
Nice shot, Shush. Elige is gonna get bet. Nope, maybe not.
Вот эта флешка, я понимаю. Ты видел, как она залетела четко?
Nerds, he comes out from middle. A bit of a labored spray, but he will get there. And now Halzerk's flank may have to be huge.
Ну если Halzerk не обосрется...
Actually, but what is happening right now? He heard it. Yeah, he heard Nerds fall easy. No way Nerds says anything about this. But now we've got the two T's in sight.
Двое они на сайте с бомбой.
They're concerned that Elige is still close, but he's given over that space.
How will he play this with such low HP?
With a fake plant first.
He will have to squeeze water from Stone from this position to be in the most normal rotator spot. If he gets a kill here.
Hulzer trying to approach from an unorthodox side, jumping up over.
Хорош.
Snapshots down.
Играй первый, Ильич, играй первый.
But this is a tough spot, and he's gonna fall. Complexity. Bring back this round.
Wow. An instant headshot from Elige in a position where he had to hit his first bullet.
How was Kicksan flashed?
Он задефал, ушел, пришел, отпиздил.
Yeah.
Хорош.
I mean, it could have been CT or T flash.
Ну там флешка была просто
вовремя,
четко въебала. Вот здесь флешка, смотри, как прилетает. Бам!
Nope.
Well, it means he wasn't flashed, Connor, so.
But his arms are.
I'm just kidding.
Интересно, чья это флешка была.
Ну, кто в виду стоял, по-моему, этот был.
Нет,
Халзер-то был новый, это их, это своя же флешка,
по-моему.
Героики сами себя слепанули.
And not clog up your teammates who are trying to get in behind you. But
мид, по-моему, всегда держит.
Either way, that was still a round. Heroic could have won easily in that 2v2 with their HP and 2 CTs in known positions.
Флешки еще не учил.
God damn, with that too, Elige sitting on the pretty 30
не умею стрелять, хоть буду флешки кидать. Хотя лень.
Посмотри, какой счет. 30-18.
After getting this far into another overtime, that this map could dictate your major.
Он-то еще старый считается пердун-то, еще тащит.
Да нету, блядь, старый. Ну, посмотри на пилота Формулы-1. Алонсо катается в каком возрасте. Который полтинник там.
No guarantees. We've learned that already. If you hadn't learned your lesson in the opening stage, top 16's been just as topsy-turvy.
Конечно, нихуя не двигаешься, спортом не занимаешься. Понятное дело, что ты в 30 лет нихуя не можешь.
Elige concerned about the wide swing out mid, which could very well be going down, but there's a little timidness.
Сам себе же плохо сделаешь.
Doesn't win the fight. Nikodas will come out on top, 7 health left over.
Who's beating him right now? 7 health, but he comes away with another 5v4. Opening duels for Nikodas.
Ну почти его перестрелял.
Ну почти, но это все равно размен.
Taking the fight, TeSS full white.
Interesting. I mean, Grim saw TeSS leave. Oh no.
Bro, there's 2 players here. Grim, this could be huge or
he walks in right.
Embarrassing. Another one Grim won't be proud of. JT toppled after his 1 frag. Nice shot from Elige.
Что творит
Everybody top ramp said he feels it.
Он слепой убил, потом после того, как флешка закончилась, дожал спрей.
Ну тебе вся тактика идет в жопу, да? Вышел, 3 балла поставил и все.
Смотри, он сейчас одного убивает, в блайнде убивает второго. Блайнд заканчивается, добивает третьего.
Heroic-то выигрывали этот раунд по всем, ну...
Да. Он просто на чувствах довел. Хорош.
Look at that laser focus.
You can't even tell that he's blind at all.
That is a natural born killer. No, that's a trained killer. A champion of practice.
And he goes again.
Elige comes right back in.
Solo.
And it is just Nerds opping. It is just not Nikodas opping in any situation so far this map. It's actually worked out quite well for Heroic. So reset the energy. Double push down. How's there going a good spot to hold this? Oh, he loses his duel. And no refrag. JT loses to Kicksan.
Yeah.
And Heroic looking to take 1 back. Bomb in front of them, Floppy on the recovery mission. How much room do they give to him? He's concerned about the close corner and that potential sandbags peek. He's grabbed bomb. But what are the options? Elige wants to move forward.
Вообще им нельзя было этот раунд проебывать.
The one player on Complexity who had the biggest individual boost when Elige showed up was Floppy, no doubt. And now the 2 of them looking to combine forces here in the 4th round of the double OT. Elige hits the ground, Nerds stoic on the angle, just sat back and waiting. And Floppy looking for some kind of an answer, some kind of highlight reel moment for him. And as he gets closer to sight, he's trying to piece it together. Good chance as that short player's locked in. 15 seconds to the clock. And Floppy's gonna fake that plant one time, looking for the elevator kill. He had the right idea, but it's Heroic with the win.
Oh man, they kept up every step of the way right there with the opening kill into the Nerds op on short. So little utility left near the end of the round for any exec to come through. It's actually ridiculous how close this game is in terms of trades. JT's got to get that one. You know, Halzerk puts himself in a good spot to get the kill, for sure. But then you think, if there's anyone else, that's got to be guaranteed. 19 to win it.
Blind.
18 for another overtime. It'll need to be 2 straight for either team, and I don't know if you could predict that at this point.
You get a lot of space given to them, but do you want to take this test to Shush again? Has he not taught you your lessons yet? A master of the B-site craft. A jump up, but he loses Nikados. Shush is still in it, but very much alone. Nerds trying to rotate out from CT spawn, and Shush will not let this site fall for free. Another volley of utility, and the nade's got his name on it.
Аксиль в теории должен играть как Алиш. Если Аксиль бы играл как Алиш,
and it is Heroic who
Голда
thrive
бы
in those
тащили.
moments
Аксиль
over and
играет
over.
как
Halzerk
просто
with the white
чередняга.
swing, damage through smoke, and again through. Halzerk pins him to the wall. And with Halzerk now back on quad, we get this creep out of Nerds. He gets the best of the Norwegian, and it falls on the shoulders of Grim, who, dare I say it, has left his team down in a few of these rounds already. They never got their plant. He will take his ticket and leave.
Oh, I feel like his odds go down leaving the site. It makes it so scary, but planting at the same time would have been terrifying, knowing Nerds could push at any moment. So much of this match could come down to the way that this is played, and right now, Nerds is hedging his bets, playing retake on the B site. He doesn't believe that Grim would leave, but he had the time to do it. So now Nerds, since he wasn't followed, can get this plant off and play it from anywhere. Are we going back to sandbags, or are we going back to ramp?
He goes forward.
Pushing forward with the bomb on default.
He hears it. He hears it. Late reaction, but if Nerds isn't ready, Grim just hit the headshot. A few body spams. All he needs, Grim with the around the world. And you know in those moments.
Yeah, so it's so scary because you know you could be followed back to the A site. If a gamble takes place, he has the site to himself, but he knows Nerds is right behind the smoke. It's so hard to know what the correct decision is, but he holds his nerve.
That's the key. Holds his nerve. The human psyche is a devilish thing. And as he rotated around with 10 health and 4 sets of eyes on him, knowing the moments that he has maybe let his team down already in this map, he had to pull up, and he will. Guaranteeing 18, a sigh of relief for Grim. In a map where he is still performing, 21 and 22, but that frag right there means more than all the others put together.
It's been a forever war here for Complexity and Heroic in this matchup, and again, CT side has been favorable in certain spots. Are we going to get the Nikados 5v4 opener with the rifle? That's been a consistent feature. The Johnny Jab spray down.
Ебать у него близко.
In a clutch situation, are we going to have a lurk pickoff on T side? How many ideas do you have left?
This is the 5th round Heroic have faced the loss, and they have hung on for dear life in 4.
Man, Halzerk absolutely saved them too. The 2 kills before Grim laid the finishing blow.
Ты смотри, как они мышками лазят.
Видишь?
Ну да, да.
Вон вот этот особенно. Вон у него рука прям шатается.
Game of cat and mouse.
Интересно.
As the smoke comes down behind JT. Oh, he snaps over to Shush of all people inside B. And JT's entry could be key. 35
на самом деле хороший охотник. Опять он это делает, блядь.
Ну вообще просто. Ему либо вперед.
And Complexity, who walked into Copenhagen with question marks above and with exclamation. Grim, 2 kills from top mid as Cole go 2-0.
2-0 for Complexity in this stage. And again, after an absolute journey, what a win over Heroic. They had to go through it all to nearly losing in regulation. to forcing an
Да,
overtime.
если бы он так не тащил, они бы
Clutch
выиграли,
after
скорее
clutch
всего.
later. Niko's on peak form.
Ну вот,
Shush
Оксид
with his
должен
B-side
также
holds
играть
and
за
Heroic
голдов.
ready
Тогда он
to
не
punish
будет.
any mistakes. They still overcame it all.
A huge signing, of course, for Complexity is Elige, and my God, worth his weight in gold.
Stole my line. That was exactly what I was going to say, Scrawny, and I'm sure we will be using a lot of superlatives to talk about that performance, about Complexity closing it out, but specifically about Elige. Moses, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, you can see what makes this guy such an exciting player and has made him so important for the North American scene. Every team he's been on, Liquid and Complexity being really the only two, but he's got it all. He's got good utility, he's got spray control, decision making, he's a playmaker and a clutcher. This was a beast mode performance from Elige, and you had the supporting cast as well, which is where we kind of had some of our doubts in the pregame as well, right? It was like the shakiness of Halzerk, what we're going to get, the shakiness of Floppy, shakiness of JT and Grim. And actually, in regulation, I was sitting there, I was like, this is actually a cool game, because if you're a North American fan, a Complexity fan, you got to be happy at the fact that you're seeing it down the lineup, down the stretch into the roster. Everyone's playing some good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do think once Complexity hit that moment of intensity at 300%, it was Elige. It was Elige. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
all
the
the important kills.
There's going to be a couple of highlights of Spray that are actually mind-boggling, and it's the fact that as the game prolongs and it becomes more and more intense, he is the one that's going to have these snappy transfer, multi-kill spray control. I mean, the guy ends up with like 35 plus kills. It's actually ridiculous.
It's actually one of his most endearing qualities is when he does something crazy, even he is like, oh, that's crazy. We heard him shout it out in the arena when he got that triple kill spray down. He was like, oh, that's insane. Did you see that?
You know what? You can earn it. You can have that one.
Yeah, you can take it.
That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it's just like, that should never happen. He's blind.
Exactly, yeah. That should never happen. Like, if you're heroic, like, what? How can you even be upset about it?
No.
You had the right spacing, you had a flash, you had a couple of flashes to swing on it, and then you get triple kill blind spray. Like, great.
Yeah.
Why am I even trying?
And I think Scrawny touched on it at the end as well, just clutches towards the end of it as well. Halzerk had some great late round plays. Grim wins that one-on-one against Nerds as well, you know, going from the B bomb site to the A bomb site. And it's crazy to see. I mean, they just outlasted Heroic. Like, you can't really pinpoint this loss on any one detail, any one consistent detail. This is just outlasting and always having a rebuttal to the plays that your opponent is making.
Maybe one thing we could pinpoint is that before OT started, Nerds had 5 kills.
Sure.
Yeah, he had a little bit more, but you're right. I think that was a point. I just think that by his positioning and the decisions that were made by Kixen, he didn't get a whole lot of love, right? He was playing middle, most of the time stable, not a lot of movement. He didn't see many opponents. Towards the very end, he had 1 multi-kill when he got finally challenged by Complexity, and the next round, immediately you saw that movement coming through with the push towards T-spawn. But yeah, it can be I mean, I hope you have an interesting newspaper to read, because middle sometimes is just
middle
boring.
sometimes does just suck. I think he was just really uninterested. Just had like one of those games where he was probably just frustrated, because we saw him picking up the op towards the end as well. He had the op a couple of times where Nikodas was playing with the rifle. We saw him push mid a couple of times towards the end of the game. It's like he's just like, I've been bored for 25 rounds. Can I do something?
I see. Okay, so that was kind of the cause of it.
I don't know. That's what would be going through my mind if I got 5 kills going in.
It's just we're not going to stand here and say when you play middle you're never going to get kills. That's not true. But it's a matter of how you play it and how you integrate it in the sort of a grand scheme of things. Like Elige had moments when he was there, but then he's the +1 on the B side. He's got the rotation on the A. Again, he had.
It also matters
movement.
what your opponents are doing as well. Like if you're not getting attacked in middle, like that part kind of sucks. I'll say this for Complexity though too. There was some really good calling. We were commenting on this towards the end of regulation. It felt like Complexity really strayed away and went away from really messing with A ramp. They got stopped like once or twice.
They got traumatized once.
Yeah, and they were just kind of like, you know, we don't want to do that anymore. And fair play to JT, because he called some sick tactics and sick calls to hit the B bomb site where Shush was having a good game, and they still came out on top and were able to kind of batter him back and take over that bomb site. But I was real nervous towards the end of the game with Complexity's T side, feeling one-dimensional, but you can't mess with a win. Can't mess with it if it works.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess as an NA fan, and you know their ability to sometimes tilt, I think that Heroic won a couple of rounds that could have put Complexity on edge. If you're really thinking about some of the clutches, Kixen has won a couple as well on the B side, and you were even watching and thinking, no, what are you doing? These are moments where they could potentially just completely drop off, and they haven't, and I think it's worth a little bit of praise as well.
Well, again, that goes to the Elige factor, right? Because like I remember one round, like the 3-on-3 in like double overtime when Floppy pushes through that smoke towards the top of the stairs. I was like, no, please just play together. Why aren't you all three like setting up a crossfire behind this smoke in the bomb site? It could be easier. And then the next round is Elige's triple kill spray down. So you forget about those little miscues.
Suddenly it's gone.
You forget about those miscues real quick.
Oh, we're gonna see this one again, I think.
Well, this is the Elige moment, right? This is where it changes completely. Here, Grim By the way, he just shouted very loudly a word that I'm not allowed to repeat. A big F-bomb was dropped at this very moment. And you can see the spacing here on the side of Heroic is close to perfection. There's going to be a pop flash. They all walk into this incredible spray.
Wow.
Okay.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Poor, I don't even know how to attack this angle. Just like, yeah, maybe the flash was 0.5 seconds too late for Heroics. Like, what am I even doing?
And the guy who throws it is just like, now you're just being a dick.
Like, come on, Maniac.
Really?
Like, surely you have to accept that this was just great. Like, yeah, I guess you get a point. It was just great.
It was good. It was really, really great to see, and we don't need to or like to venture too much into like body language per se, but I do think Alicia is like one of those players that in the past sometimes you do see when it is up against it, you see it on his face, and I didn't see that once.
На PGL пойдем. Что это у нас?
Не люблю ни Нави, ни G2.
Также.
A nice try on the eco
8-3 уже играют. Ай, блядь. Не тот стрим смотрели.
Oh, flash goes over. Axel
Уже половину
shooting at ghosts.
Ну ладно.
Что у них играет? Это 8 выходит 10. Электроник 2 килла, блядь. Чё?
Cloud9 are playing very good CS at the moment.
Ну, блядь, у них один просыпается, второй засыпает. Ладно, хотя он и против этих спиритов хорошо играл.
Immediately found success in the first rifle round, and you had Cloud9 right where you wanted them, and since that point, since that initial streak, you've done nothing.
Это пистолетку проиграли.
Very dominant. It's not like these have been dicey rounds.
And again, Cloud9, 3 on A, and it's not like they even have the info to guarantee this play. They still have front toilets. They don't have long, and they're right. They're nailing it on the head right now. Boomich getting aggressive. Hits his shot on the side step. Ecstatic. Just trying to push the orb back now, but Boomich takes a new line on long. That's Patty's position, the one player we felt like we can rely on right now for Ecstatic.
Сука, Вапер, конечно, Клаудам
все-таки нужен. Yeah, they kind of have to. Nodios hasn't been making noise here. He's just been sitting and waiting. But that's allowed Cloud9 to have some util, to keep some in the back pocket. And that comes out to give Perfecto the angle. Ready to deal with the monster push. Electronic now getting involved as well. And there's Perfecto emerging.
Didn't even get them. Electronic and Hobbit both there. On the map, 4 players at B. You just can't pull the wool over Cloud9's eyes. So mobile. And for a team that doesn't even have like this dependable Shiro-esque AWP there. Oh, Shiro, you jump spot A solo with AWP, we'll play quad B. That's not what Cloud9 is doing. Boomich doesn't even truly believe in it himself. He said he can't be a main AWPer. In an interview recently, he said this isn't going to be his perm role. He's not even playing it on every map, but he's hitting it when he has to. And Cloud9, a lopsided game right now. Knocking at the door is Ecstatic with an opening kill in the last round of the half. 4 would be good, given how this game has gone. 4 would be solid.
This is late lurking B again. I just want him to make a bit of noise. I want him to drag some of this util out of the B hold while there's still a minute 20 seconds left. At least make Cloud9 worried that there's a chance you could hit B.
Just used all his util so early.
Hobbit aggro position. And because they're playing contact, you won't want to spam
Ебать,
this.
золотой калаш.
Right? If the round was a bit more up tempo and you're playing with pace, you would spam that position. You likely get the kill. Boomich on the reposition, traded after the first, but they still don't know about Hobbit. They never check for him, and now he hears them wrapping him in the bathrooms. Hobbit head on a swivel. Second kill in the round. Now's the time for the spam. Oh, nearly run out, but Nodios is able to contain it.
Он за эти позиции двоих забрал.
They have options, and they have time. It's a good call, but Cloud9 don't waver in their decision. Sat 2 upper, cemented in their spots.
On the approach, but Cloud9 just aren't budging. They are sticking to their guns here, and I mean, you can't blame them. Every read they've had so far has been perfect. Perfecto. Perfect's in the name, and he'll nail them as they come around long. A turn up Electronic for the close. That is a glorious CT side put forward from Cloud9. A bit of a fall down in the first rifle round that they ran. Well, a bonus, I guess, but very swiftly able to recover, and some very nice reads out of Boom. It felt like they were always perfectly positioned, always had numbers in the right place.
Yeah, it's a confident gamble for Cloud9, but it's a gamble based on the knowledge that Ecstatic probably won't go down B. They have so much to clear. At 40 seconds, they have to take back connector. They have to check that awkward railing spot on B water. Like it's actually a really awkward situation if Cloud9 have short, and they know the Ecstatic have no info in that spot, so just walking back.
Сейчас говорят, есть какая-то механическая клава маленькая, которая все прошники начинают играть. У нее типа не механика, а аналоги, она типа лучше для шутеров. Я забыл бренд.
Так-то бабки больше заплатят, тай лучше.
Pissed around feels like a requirement.
Все эти девайсы вообще копеечные продают, и пиздец как дорого.
Механические клавы дорого. У меня моя сломалась, к сожалению.
It's just not going to be easy. You're going to be kind of constantly close to getting broken.
Да простейший пластик, простейший
we saw the vulnerabilities that still carries for the CT side, right? If you lose the first rifle round, oh no, we're going to lose a couple more, and so you really don't have any margin for error here if you're Ecstatic. It's got to be picture perfect from here on out. So let's see what Patty and Co have up their sleeve.
На и красная 1500.
Flash, no kit here.
Heavy lean down towards B early.
More
players there, and just Salazar over towards mid. It's not even like he goes for a spot here, just playing back over towards the toilets.
He went to listen connector to see if Cloud9 ran through con. They
Рекламу, конечно. Там процентов, наверное, бюджета расходов это 95 реклама.
Not overcommit to the duel and die, peeking into a triple Glock where you're probably going to get killed.
This is still great space
9-3. Хорошо отыграли.
Time left in the round. All the way up through toilets, not even spotted yet. They're now hearing rotates. That might speed them up here. They know that if you're scrambling bodies up towards upper, that means there's not many in the site. Still, Ecstatic get here in good timing, but it might not matter. 3 kills from 3 apiece for Cloud9. Out of nowhere.
Хорошо отдыхали.
Very briefly, that was a 5-on-3 for
Ecstatic. They thought they had
this in the bag, and now it's nothing of the sort. Nodios is chased down. It's just Queenix, and his dualies can never even get going.
What a brutal
какой жирный стал, ё-моё.
You think you have them on the ropes,
немного.
and it snaps and cracks you back in the face. 3-on-5, blink, triple kill for Cloud9.
Олег, ты всегда был таким пухлым.
Не, он одно время пожирнел.
There's no words for that one for Ecstatic. Side down the mic.
Бумыч, он, блядь, на наркоте сидел. Конечно, он худым был.
Cloud9 getting hyped, 10-3.
После этого реабилитационного центра.
As they try and finish this map.
Да, но он, да, он, конечно, этот, трахается в пить сок в прямом смысле этого слова. Просто нюхал кокаин, играл в КС, и с проституткой жил.
Confident through the Molotov, they push them together, but that's still good info for Cloud9, who will just trap them down in the darkness. They won't take much space on upper, there's still the scout on the side. Ecstatic, this is a good rotation, but it will mean they need to scurry back up to top.
Боже, блядь, желтый скин просто.
Cloud9 really
Хочу быть скинмейкером, который сделал желтый скин и ни хрена.
Да, желтый скин. Но есть же красный блок.
But how many players is enough right now? That's the question with how Cloud9 are playing.
Может еще женские скины поделать? Женских скинов мало.
Там уже всяких скинов хватает. На рынке столько этих, блядь, вот
да.
Промазал.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Ой, желтенький.
Still Patty floating around in the toilets.
Hello.
Able to get the reload off, but can't take it any further than that. Ecstatic try to flood the site, flood through the smoke.
Перестреливаю с Клауда-то их все-таки.
Now it's just Queenix again in another 1v2, second time in this position.
Все, мы тащим, и момент просто
Я даже не знаю, как они это прям проигрывают. Выглядит все хорошо, а потом секунды и плохо.
Не, мне нравится, как Волода играет. Просто у них хорошая сыгранность. Им чуть-чуть стрельбы.
Нет, стрельбы, им кавика не хватает, ты чё?
Да.
А вапера им не хватает. Все-таки как не Им надо, не знаю, я бы все-таки хоббита типа.
А можно затратить ну шо?
Именно талантливого авика, не просто там какого-то авика, а хорошего авика.
I mean, they're on the ropes. They force last, they force again. They make it 1v2, but really it's more about just getting rounds on the game.
Да, вот тут Бавик решил.
Player struggling here for Cloud9. Maybe he feels like he's against pistols, but Ecstatic give him a reality check. However, Cloud9, they started the last round the same as well, 4v5. Didn't stop them. This time they're even better armed, AKs across the board.
Так что... Был бы бюджет игры, вот какого-то монези им взять вместо хоббита.
Да не,
ну он дорогой, я сказал, был бы бюджет. Понятное дело, что монези им не по карману, наверное. Хуй знает, сколько у них денег. Они, правда, за перфекта с электроником выложили.
Ну, по-хорошему, Монеси где-нибудь поднасрется, цену потеряет, можно купить.
Монези молодой, перспективный, играет хорошо.
Проблема вот этих молодых новичков, что они, как только бабки начнут ощущать, они фильм всякого делать могут. Ну, допустим, Монеси еще пока молодой, но сейчас у него немножко гармончики сыграют, начнут как бумыч за шлюшками бегать. Симпл в этом плане хорош был.
Да, Симпл просто... Зywoo тоже хорош, он же просто такой этот фермер.
Чем хорош вот Симпл, Zywoo? Они запрыганные не бегают, а просто играют. Проиграли, идут фейсик стирать. Поэтому он был топ-1.
Сейчас уже, не знаю, Симпл вернется, не вернется, хуй его знает.
Да вернется он, блядь, было уже такое, было. Вернется еще всем пизды даст.
Не знаю.
Он упертый, блядь, как баран. Дай ему год. Год. Полгода хотя бы, он же только начал. Он только буквально начал играть, и то относительно. Он же вообще не играл в КС.
Да?
Да, он вообще не играл в КС. Ну вот во второй КС он буквально недавно начал играть.
Ничего себе.
Он говорил, игра сырая, я не играть.
А что он делал это все время?
Valorant играл, там, Dota, наверное, играл.
Лол. Перейдет в Valorant.
Ну, если ему заплатят, тогда отдадут.
Because you've even seen them play favorites before, and if
ли
everyone's feeling it on the day, then the team still looks really good. It's just about finding that consistency.
Нахрена быть бомжом в Valorant, если нужно быть топом в CS?
I mean, this is like salt in the wound. This hurts even more. You played your CT side of Overpass, so you needed like your big valiant comeback with never even a full gun round because of those purchasing decisions.
And the last 2 rounds they had 5v4s. Well, this time it goes the other way.
Ебать, если они 13-3 кстатиков-то выиграют, это нормально такая. Не, ну Спириты все-таки это топ-1 команда, считай, как ни крути. Им-то проиграть Спиритам не стыдно.
As this one looks to get put to rest, Cloud9, no missteps today and strong performances across the board.
Nadios getting that one back is not the diamond in the rough they hope. He'll get finished off, and Cloud9 lock in a dominant win over Ecstatic, one where it was never even close outside of the first 5 rounds of the game. From that moment onwards, Cloud9 were winning this.
Yeah, they absolutely roll over the full Danish roster here in Copenhagen. And a statement from Cloud9 with reassurances to take away for this squad that have been in
to the wind,
all good things come to an end.
Will make sure that there is no tomfoolery out of another local, right? We're talking about Danes here in the Copenhagen Major.
Yeah, сюда. Cloud9 нужен monesy.
But we do have Hooksy, a legend in his own right. Bit all the way back to CT trying to lock horns with the top main player, but that garage distraction's coming for next to flank out Hell. JL is very elusive here, getting all the way back tucked behind main, but it's a G2 Esports 3-0 T-side start in a best-of-1 versus Navi on Nuke at the PGL Copenhagen.
Мне кажется, monesy тоже задрот. Деньги не деньги, мне кажется, он задрот.
Да он еще денег не ощутил, он играет в КС.
Возможно.
Пока еще не понял, что можно на эти деньги купить, кроме мышек.
Наверное.
Дон,
конечно, долбоебом попахивает. Его как не увижу, он таким каким-то ЧСВшным немного. Но играет хорошо.
And all the head-to-heads that Alexi B has had versus the old team with success, great, obviously. It's a great stat to have. But the one match that matters is going to be the one here.
Это лысый француз, что ли, или другой?
I'm sure he's not even thinking about the head-to-head necessarily, but simply beating the opponent that's
Я не знаю, как они могут играть в одной команде с Хукси и Некси. Это ж пиздец. Как такое тащить, блядь? Это, считай, я и Тимур. Это профессиональные эквиваленты меня и Тимура. Это просто пиздец. Грубо говоря, играешь ты, Эрик Добер, Тимур и я. Охуенная команда, блядь. Просто...
Ну как я выходит монус. Ну это я получаю. На, получаю.
Is he up to? A Zeus kill and a
А
double
что, ребят?
Nova.
Вы умерли.
And he's only got 5 kills to talk about. G2 chewing off a little more than, excuse me, G2 biting off a little more than they can chew. Tough to chew when you get your teeth knocked out.
Вот Зови, вот это, с этими мышками играет прошники.
У меня Зови есть. Вообще пиздатая мышка. Я до этого использовал Зови. Она лучшая мышка. Она чем хороша, там ни дрова, ничего нет. Она, короче, вот просто как калашник. Простая
и эффективная.
Да, у нее все настройки, там даже приложения нет, все настройки делаются на мышке на одной кнопке. Хочешь переключить частоту DPI там или герцовки, по-моему, да, герцовки, ты должен при подключении мыши зажимать определенные комбинации клавиш. То есть она создана для LAN-турниров.
У меня Logitech.
Но у меня у самого тоже Logitech. Я покупал, по-моему, самую топовую мышку беспроводную.
У нас такая, у нас одинаковая, наверное. Мне она нравится, она очень легкая, удобная.
Ну я давно уже покупал.
Я до года 2 покупал.
Pro Wireless.
Да, Pro Wireless. Моей мышки.
Сколько она у тебя стоит?
2 года.
А чем ты брал?
Фунтов 80, по-моему. Или 70.
У нас дороже она.
Я ее на скидке брал, я же работаю на финтех-компании, поэтому у меня все технологии достаточно дешевые.
12 тысяч стоит.
Logitech Pro Wireless. Я даже... Интересно, если брать на Logitech 140 евро, а если у меня... она сейчас на распродаже 42% скидывает, 70 фунтов.
Да у нас таких скидок в жизни не бывает.
42% скидывает сейчас. Можно ее с наушниками купить за 100.
У нас как делают обычно? Оверпрайс и типа 40% от этого оверпрайс. Вообще типа скидок не бывает.
Это же еще последняя модель. У нас с тобой постарее модель. Еще до этого вышла одна.
А там она следующая, она хуже.
Она хуже, да. Все сказали, она хуже.
Я тоже смотрел, я хотел взять, потом почитал отзывы и понял, что это лучше.
Да. У меня их две на самом деле, у меня одна валяется без провода. У меня кот съел провод, я написал Logitech, они мне новую мышку выслали. Так что у меня теоретически беспроводно одна валяется.
Даже еще к монитору у меня получается, типа, чтобы там задержка не было.
Passive playstyle. I want to use that word, even though it's like a little loaded in a negative
Да, там
connotation.
сейчас типа новые моники, чтобы минимальная задержка, ты подключаешь там к монитору, там прям USB нарисована мышка. Включаешь к монитору мышку.
A coach like Blade to structure around an opera that plays more in the back. You can play more chess with the map, and I think that's worked out actually quite well with Wonderful.
Не знаю, как это работает.
He's incredibly consistent.
Пиздёж.
Не, ну типа у этой мышки, не все мышки так работают. У этой мышки есть такая функция проваривания. То есть должен быть и монитор, и мышка с этой функцией.
У меня раньше все было SteelSeries. На SteelSeries сыпется быстро. Они хорошие, а потом через год-два сыпятся. У меня вот сейчас вот клава полетела, я грущу. Хорошая механическая клава, 5 лет.
SteelSeries это типа Зови. Ой, Зови Рейзера. Раньше же Рейзер такой же был, сыпался.
Вот. У меня Shift сейчас нажимает 6 кнопок подряд. Прикинь? Да. Но правда говорят, у Logitech хорошая беспроводная клава механическая. Я уже не хочу покупать клаву.
Не надо клаву.
Я взял у жены старую. Ну, такую стандартную.
Я хочу монитор 380 Гц.
Был же какой-то новый, который еще типа очень пиздатый.
520 есть. На те матрицы, но он стоит 150 тысяч. 150.
1000 евро стоит монитор.
Нет, не 1000. Больше, 1,5.
Ну, у меня компик старый, мне сначала надо комп обновить.
1400 получается евро. Ну, ждать надо, а когда опустится до 1070, я бы еще подумал.
Я еще на старых герцах играю. На 60, как это называется.
Не, ну это по-моему.
Actually being very careful right here. Hunter was about to watch him.
30 seconds as they do come back for Alexei. He's going to get swept away, and now
Алексей, первый стрелять начал, щит
Oh, Nexa pops up.
Nexa, блядь. Тимур поставил.
Ты дождешься, пока флешка взорвется, а потом будешь тыкать.
G2 thanks to Hunter bring it back.
Yeah, and also Nexa's shot inside of heaven. The thing was that even though Alexei died outside, the bomb cannot make it downstairs. Spit is in vent. They have secret covered. It's too far away to get to ramp. There's no way they can do that. Usually, that should be the end of your round, right? But instead, Nexa gets this shot. Wonderful could have camped out both Squeaky and Mini, or re-cleared Squeaky with JL, and there would have been no way at all for G2 to win. So, great shot to save the day.
Тимур. Чисто моральная поддержка. Клауда молодец, 13-3 их закрыли.
And when we go back to the RMR for G2, right, we don't get to see a lot of them, but what we did get to see was a significant uptick in performance from Nexa and from Hunter. And those are the two pieces that suddenly start raising the G2 floor.
Yeah, we didn't know if Hunter was going to be, basically if he was going to be good at CS2. Like he was suffering for
Вообще
quite a
новый
bit.
Нави не
And it was
нравится.
getting worrying that he really had lost his groove. I mean,
There was
Village
tension on the fact that monesy was so good that
Yep.
Niko took a little bit to get
Тимура
good, and we didn't know about
протащит.
him. But then Hunter, all the while, was struggling sort of the longest.
honestly, kind of both the Kovacs lose their mojo at the start of CS2. And that's some valuable Counter-Strike DNA. Niko has found his footing.
Чтобы
And
Ника
while it took
прошел.
Hunter a little while longer, it seems like he is in that boat now. Or at least he was in Romania for the RR.
Ника что-то подсдал.
For G2's sake, he
Не,
needs to
смотри,
hold on to it.
фокус.
Oh,
Он
that's
еще и
close.
прошел.
The smoke popped open, but the T still
Беспалевно.
crossed.
Yeah. Now they still might be
Это значит,
suspicious
что это
of
экран.
one getting by as Niko. Getting at a dodge
Нет,
and wonderful
они
with the
решили
perfect timing on
подоиграть,
the
как и
approach.
Ника
Top
прошел.
left player in Imma is full blind, ends up dying.
Теперь,
Wonderful does the rest.
Then
Boots on the ground.
outside, they'll lose one.
Ты мне
Hunter
рубашку
looking for
купил?
the trade frag on the low HP player.
Я не пойду в костюме.
Monesy makes a rumbling downstairs, but look at this. Hunter and Alexi
Нет, я не
not
пойду в
crossing each
костюме.
other's paths.
Wait,
This game is a matter of
Я
millimeters.
тем более
And does he
жирный,
get
он у
in?
меня уже маленький.
you're joking.
Тустичок.
But what does he think is going to happen?
But
Of
now
course.
the secret player is going to come for him, perhaps.
Yeah, but
10.
Hunter's going to ramp, so they're just going to go lower, and Alexi just has to make sure that he's not up in heaven. It's another situation where Hunter is tailed, and it
Так
reveals the
испортил
setup
темку вот
entirely.
этими тупыми
Back on clock here
наклейками.
is Bit. It's his,
Да, я
his round
тоже
to lose,
наклейки не
essentially,
очень
as Hunter comes
понимаю.
up on the approach.
He should be on high alert, and that's exactly why
Я
he is of
понимаю
two
новую
minds.
эту систему наклеек.
Juggling between the positions. Monesy also his
Нет,
victim.
ну
So
типа можно
Bit
для
stamps
семантики,
his
но
name
когда
on
ты
the
уже
lower
его
bomb site,
обклеиваешь,
you
Да,
come
я
to
тебе попозже
expect Bit
покажу,
to do
какие
good things
наклейки
on B.
топовые.
For sure. Him and Monesy, obviously great friends from the Academy League. Both having played for Navi Junior at one point. And Monesy, you know, narrowly not going to Navi simply because Simple existed. Like if there was, you know, one player that couldn't be replaced on almost any team in that exact role, it would have been Simple. But, you know, they didn't want to let him go to
Они
any
на
team,
самом деле прошники многие не
especially not
понимают,
one
что
that could end up
если у них
beating
рожа
Navi in the
чистая,
future.
красивая, прическа замызганная, то у них рекламные контракты
But
появляются
he's
как.
been worth every
Вот
penny
есть же
that
чувак
600K.
в этом, который 4 мажора выиграл.
Дюпри?
Нет, в доте так. Блин, как же его зовут?
Рамзес, что ли?
Да, Рамзес. Он же постоянно такой зализанный, с причесончиком. За счет этого у него и контракты.
Он такой ЧСВшный,
Ну,
блядь.
ЧСВшный, но следит за собой же.
Такой
В
дрищара
рекламах.
противный, блядь.
Head and Shoulders. Блять, не выговорю это слово. Ну, шампунь
Да-да-да,
же рекламировал.
ласкит по перхоти, да-да-да, помню.
What's Monesy up to?
Если бы не его
You should never
внешность,
live on
он
the
бы
lower
хрен.
floor.
Да.
People just jumping around on top of you.
Вот бита не возьмут шампунь рекламировать.
And when I drop things on the ground,
Нет,
I
биток,
think
к сожалению.
that's my right.
Вот Ника возьмут.
Ника красавчик. Wonderful. Он же блондин был.
Monesy has a Zeus. There's a small chance he comes flying off of the top of Mini.
I don't know what G2 here do besides contact explode. Nexa,
Видишь,
okay,
когда
well, okay,
медленно
yeah.
все происходит,
That's what
они
you look
близко
for.
прицел ставят.
He gets into main.
Когда на
He's got his
шесте.
Zeus out. Look at that. Into the AK,
А, здесь
into the
он
headshot.
еще там кого-то.
Wonderful has now fallen, and both CTs are confirmed. They've just
Лол.
got to get this bomb over. I
Пошли.
swear to God, if they win this round, nice kill from Bit at
Поставьте,
least.
главное
Bomb
поставьте.
drops down to
Все
B,
хорош
and
поставить.
Monesy has
Моноси
picked up
красавчик.
another.
Девятки давай. Все.
He
Иди на
jumps
0,
off
иди на
main,
0.
chases Ema with the Zeus into the AK, and then
А
doubles
Монос хорош.
down.
The T-side
Он
Zeus,
очень
some
жестко
say
поставил только что.
impossible. Not for the flash. He's there in an
В
instant.
таком
It is
развороте.
brilliant.
Меняйте Хоббита на бонусе, и все. Клауда будут топычи.
How does he even find a route? Let alone
Жили
get
были
the
моменты,
AK,
когда
get
в
that
него
much value out of it.
стреляют раньше, чем он еще убивает.
What an unreal play, man. And there's so many players that are as flashy as Monesy that aren't nearly
Он еще
as
топ-1
efficient
фейситы
in
сейчас.
structured rounds
Да?
at the top level.
Хуя себе.
He's a
Тогда
unicorn in
точно
that
денег не
regard.
хватит
He's got the
такого не
mechanics,
купить.
or as Tony would say, you know, he's got the brains and the balls.
Truly plays like
Ну, если он
anything is
Некса
possible.
бита валит, то проебали они все.
Ну да, бит-то
They steal
ёбарь.
that back from the Nexa Desert Eagle into the Zeus AK upgrade. Now Now Navi a little desperate to try and get their kills back. They've done damage to Hooksy, Nexa, and Hunter, but you've still got monesy to deal with.
Niko 3 килла.
In a 3v4 with lesser weapons. That's an electrifying way to get G2 back into the lead. And then
нужны в команде такие чуваки, как Бумыч,
a chance to chase Wonderful down if they really want it, but met by a smoke, they'll hold. And we already saw just last round, G2 very content to just take their hands off the mouse and keyboard, play it slow. This time they decide to challenge, looking to gun down the offer. Wonderful missing a shot. That one's gonna be what costs them ramp control. Down to the B site, they shall sprint.
Мне кажется, они для команды нормально, они такие
для команды, да.
Ну просто Apex, ты на него как не посмотришь на кавер, у него вечно жопа как горит.
Я только из-за Apex слежу за ним. Мне нравится Apex.
Ну, прикольно, он эмоциональный. Мне просто интересно, он так контрастирует с zywoo, который такой достаточно спокойный, мягкий, ну, в игре.
Hunter further back on ramp. Sees nothing on the approach. Now suddenly that save seems a little too tantalizing, so they try to go.
Бля, но если Нави не взлетят, я не думаю, что Алекси Би в какую-то команду еще пойдет.
Нави еще куча шафлов.
Он же считай капитан, он почти все топовые клубы, и везде как бы ничего такого не добился. Он капитанил Г2, он капитанил ОГ, он капитанит Нави. Не поф он капитанил же.
Всегда вот эта вот система, типа, один капитанит. Нельзя как-то вот сыграться так, чтобы просто, типа, 2-2 и один соло-плеер.
Надо слушать всегда один голос, как бы.
Но он же не слышит всю карту.
Не, ну понятное дело,
что... Может, это не лучшая система для КС.
Я не думаю, что он там говорит, прям ты иди направо. Автономность какая-то есть.
Но он принимает решение просто.
But you know what? JL started this fight. He got the first Zeus early on. Nexus survives it.
This is what they were doing in boot camp, just looking for Zeus angles.
15 days of practicing Zeus spots.
Yeah.
Start your day with some deep breathing, cardio.
Я к чему это говорю, то что по капитану постоянно без концентрации играют. А так бы.
Right place, right time once again.
Who is very quickly paving the path to the 2-0 start in Copenhagen.
Просто изначально всю тактику обговаривать, и кто что делает, в какой ситуации, это же можно разобрать.
Has been used a pretty efficient lurker so far this half.
I have to say, in the big picture of things, the thought of G2 just quickly running into the playoffs, you know, a swift reminder that you can't count G2 out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you never know what G2 you're gonna get. You never know. All that matters for them is right now they're having a great start and they look very well prepared, and obviously their key pieces are on point.
Today we're getting the one that I like to watch.
Yeah.
And what's beautiful here is
it's one of those teams again, like almost every matchup versus G2 is fun to watch. So it's like you're always cheering for them to be good at the game because the whole game benefits from it.
You know, monesy was up there in the starting best of one. He had Niko right with him, right? The two stars aligning and it felt so good. There's no kit, right? No, okay. Just looking for the Zeus exit. Said it once, I'll say it again. A sight for sore eyes to see Hunter doing this well. 12-7 on the T side. You know, picking up the slack that Niko has left.
He was trading very well on the map earlier today.
7 раундов за террористов уже взяли.
Bit of a frustrating situation for sure for Navi. I mean, I feel like because of the nature of the way they've lost these rounds, you'd just be angry just because, I don't know, like, there's not much more you could have done about it, but you know you could have won these rounds with just a touch more awareness in a certain spot, or with the way that G2 are playing, approaching these rounds in such crazy fashion, and monesy having his way with basically the entire map.
Do whatever he damn well pleases.
Yeah.
I mean, playing it back, it makes sense, man. Anybody falling back from main, trying to tuck behind CT vent, That's all Zeus territory. You know, I think the mind first goes to stationary positions that are close enough to get Zeus kills. Soon we'll watch that develop into the T-side aggressive Zeuses. You know, short on vertigo, for example. I've seen a couple Zeuses running up that lane. But there's far more than electricity in this round. We've got M4s back up. We've got very little utility though for Navi and an entire volley of util about to come out from G2 to the A site. They'll hold off. That was the last smoke grenade that Navi had to throw.
Сейчас через 10 секунд начнем
Already we've
закидывать.
had instances of G2 burning down the clock.
Давай, на минуте 50, поехали. А эти поджимают на минуте 50. Ой-ой-ой. Сейчас все обломается.
Could be a good angle here for JL. Yeah, he picks it perfectly.
Yeah, he's been problematic for G2 inside of Hut.
Looks he executed.
Ну, они ничего не делали, карты
Trophy
никак
push
не
all the same.
контролировали.
So I mean, again, another situation where how do Navi let this go?
Если сейчас G2 выиграет, то это просто помойка, Нави. Но они не должны выиграть.
No nades needed.
5-7 играбельно, но все равно.
Absolutely stop that one in its tracks.
They all picked great spots.
Yep.
Hit some great shots. Good half from JL. This half was so individualistic, you know, more than it was sort of a team. I don't want to hand a team-based accolade based on what happened. There was so many highlights, so many unique situations, and just so many Zeuses.
25-60к. Старый, 240 Гц, по-моему, моник.
Wild that that round is what powers G2 to end up getting essentially 3 off of the back of it. The Zeus round was a robbery. The half-buy and the follow-up wasn't enough for Navi to hang on, and then they got the anti-eco, so... JL happy to grab one more before Navi have to start this T-side endeavor, but fair to say, G2 definitely did enough on the offense.
Absolutely. They're going to be the ones who are comfortable now.
А, это 360 Гц.
You know how Navi go on T-side.
Это топовый моник.
They're going to make this excruciating if they have to.
Niko outside nuke.
Прикольно.
It's a welcome scene. We'll see whether he can kick it up a notch because
Какая модель у него?
25-66К.
Зови.
They got the first kill on the pistol armor.
Почему что?
And now they'll call on
вот
him
сейчас смотрю.
for the CT side.
Бен Кью. А, Бен Кью.
Это Зои Бен Кью это.
Зови XL. 25-66К, 24,5, 360 Гц, 500 фунтов.
That's a tide changer right there. They got vent control. CT's guessing a bit. Another T walking out of the HUD, and Hooksy doesn't find it.
Monesy gonna shove them right back down that vent. That can be the bomb to go plant at B, and if it
Уже
does,
все, на Амазоне реклама, что это официально моник мажора.
Monesy goes towards
Да у
double
всех пружинов
doors,
этот моник.
and as Wonderful comes out of the smoke, his teammate upstairs will find nothing. Monesy, perfect place at the perfect moment, making sure that they can't come up and split A. And because the Hut guy confirms Hooksy's behind CT vent, that's what drew them up into Monesy's waiting hands.
Yeah, G2 still one of the most consistently impressive teams on pistol rounds. And I mean, I don't know if it's still true to this day, but we knew at one point that Hunter was actually the caller specifically for pistol rounds. I mean, I don't think that was even a joke, so I don't know if that's still the case, but great pistol stats, great listing players, of course, helps out a lot.
I like to believe it is, you know, that like somebody can bring just something of that specialism to a table. You know, it's like field goal kickers in the in American football.
Yeah,
you sit on the bench.
You miss a kick?
You sit on the bench for 95% of the game, and then you just come out to kick a ball at the same spot every time.
And sometimes you miss.
После, если сейчас форс, ой-ой-ой.
Okay, Ninja.
Forced by Navi with the bomb plant, the triple Galil, Deagle Mac 10. But already
Как, блядь,
two
Г2
smokes, two
выигрывает с
flashes. And Hooksy says to JL, anything you can do, I can do better. From the Nova to the auto shoddy. Are we at the major? Because with some of the guns I've seen tonight, the hell is going on?
May the most creative team win. That's what I say.
У меня коврик.
Well, Zeusing off the top of main, chasing down fence players. I'll
Мне
bet
не
that's
нравится,
creative,
но.
all right.
Кстати.
Мне
looking like a laser being here.
Слишком простая, белая.
He's more of a robot
Простота
outside.
это кайф.
They have to concede ramp.
Я не люблю, чтобы много было, но не люблю, когда мало. Ну, вот у меня МК Сайрекс мне она нравится. Вот она. Красное, белое, черное.
Really hoping somebody gets active inside of lobby.
I don't want to curse anything, but I love
Сейчас ствол торчит, Вась.
Yeah,
that ain't how that works, Chief.
That's a long barrel on that.
Блин, натуре Тимур,
Good
нахуй.
night, Nexa. Damn, how did they know I was there? Oh.
Wonderful. Has to give up the spot. We get this late vent play from JL. He has waited in lobby for so long to get a chance to shoot the Deagle, and he does it. Successfully into the back of niko. Monesy trying to retake out from ramp. There are no guarantees, even with that freebie of a kill on Nexa, because if Monesy is alive and kicking,
Молодой
you've
играет,
got
пиздец,
problems.
хорошо.
Wonderful match, climbing through the window, and Hooksy forced into the clutch with a shotgun.
With an auto shot.
Торопится нет, но играет хорошо.
Sticks it, but he doesn't have the gizmo, so no
Не
defuse there.
успел.
Oh my god.
I will never understand how
Странно
professional
там
players
бэкграунда.
don't understand where
Ну, денег,
barrels
правда, у них
end.
нет.
Oh, with the that was definitely a little
И у
surprising.
этих
That
нету.
spot is valid, but you
Сейчас
can't
будет
be
форс.
looking out that way.
So
Форс на форс.
Yeah, that was giving Ninja.
look at
though,
that.
don't forget.
Look how obvious that is.
Yes.
It's like he wasn't even
'Cause he
fully
was-
back in the corner.
No, it's yeah, he might have been that because I feel like
Yeah.
you definitely.
I feel like his
are
angle was
normally
a little
fine,
wider.
but he was also watching the far side exit of the ramp.
Sorry guys, they just read me like a book
Hey,
downstairs,
if they
man.
boot camped as long as Navi, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 15 days.
They would have figured that out.
15 days would get you out of that position.
But all
so-
that does is make the game close. It's still G2 in the power position once they get back to rifles.
Правда,
So
он эти стикеры
Navi,
наклеил
first of
на
all,
нее и
they
все.
want to survive this. They didn't get rid of niko. He's got an M4. He's definitely taking a risk. Could get mollied in this spot in secret, but if they don't come forward outside, it won't matter. niko can share a lot of information from here, though. If he just decides to take a timing peek to the side of red, sees nothing. They aren't mollying him out either. It's not a full default. You have to be careful with your default grenades in this situation because it will just tell niko that you're actually not coming if you throw too many.
Я бы еще вышел. У меня команда была бы, я этот...
Ой, да.
The shot's not quite
Да,
as
жестко.
hot
The idea
as-
was big.
Yeah.
It was a big
Хукси.
idea.
Это
Gotta try
стандарт.
big.
Это я так
Ладно,
бы
что
я.
Ника живой. Он может быть
Make the
закроет.
most of those ones. Still something to stand on here with Hunter tucked in
Так,
behind
дайте
doors.
Ника поиграть. Ой, ну...
Nope. Great coverage. Oh, hold
Хорош,
up.
Ника еще
Wait a
двоих
second.
забрал.
Bomb is planted. Monesy has a scout. He's
Молодой.
too far removed.
Работай. Не, не
I was
хочешь.
gonna say it's still him. I think he heard you. He's
Калаш
out of there.
возьмет, уйдет.
You'll let this one go. That was cool.
Галил.
That was
You
cool.
see that?
Так,
That was
ладно.
some
Сейчас сейф
Tony
я тебе
Hawk
кое-что
business
покажу.
right there.
Ну.
This game gets a little you know that.
О, мой, кстати, комп.
Oh, this is so relaxing.
It's making me dizzy. I'm
А, ну
looking
да,
at
да,
the
да, у
screen,
тебя
dude.
коврик как камка, да, да.
Oh, you said you wanted Tony Hawk Pro Skater. There you go.
There we go.
A little 50-50 grind in the T-spawn.
Так, не успел.
Yeah, I like that he was on high
Oh
alert.
my God.
That snap is nice. Okay.
Wow.
It's not just Hooksy misses his
Да,
chance to
этот бал
5-7
без
spam,
конца
but
не продал
goddamn,
двоих.
Bit did not give him a lot of time to shoot.
That was almost a full 180.
Ooh, we're looking at a tie
Смотри,
game.
8-8.
G2 not working with much now.
I
Ладно,
Time to sit up
они
straight.
форс просто проиграли. Добавил
got a couple
тогда
tidbits
уже
to work
интереснее.
with, right? The saved Galil from Monesy
Combine, yeah.
could be given a chance versus two.
Диглы ёбнут
Ладно.
отпуску.
I mean, every time we see Monesy's doing something right.
But then as he comes through the
Monesy,
main
16
smoke, at least
киллов.
Wonderful was far enough out. Hooksy comes out with the deagle.
Вот
Doesn't get himself a
не
second.
нажал, просто
Still
вовремя
finishes
не
the herd
нажал.
inside of the A site. It's
Так
a
бы
quick
два
move
килла
from
было.
Hunter out from heaven towards the garage.
Not many outs beyond that.
Не
Those couple
хватило,
of guns
чтобы
to work
выиграть
with.
раунд.
So, calm situation for Navi as they plant and look to tie the game up. I said they make it excruciating here on T side, and they will draw blood at every instance.
А он что девайс на Б раунд. Неплохо. Сейчас еще один сворует.
think one thing Navi do for sure that's good is, even if you can't win a round, you make it as expensive as you can all the time.
Ой, хорош забайчина.
Like that.
Well, that's G2 doing it. That's good too.
Не дают засейвить.
Chase is on.
Засейвить.
Hang on to the
Не
weapon, so we're all tied
может
up.
взорваться.
This Navi T side, has it been flawless? No.
Has it been flawless?
Huh, yes, indubitably.
Nice!
Of course.
Come on, boys, it's equal. It's equal.
It's equal.
Nice. Guys, we already did get...
G2 win pistol. And then 3
Да.
straight from this Navi
Такой
camp.
провал,
Yeah.
конечно.
So it's a double save essentially. Well, it's the no. Yeah, it's not eco. I don't know if someone asked that and that's why he said it about the last round to make sure
Средний
because there were maybe
бай,
one or two
опять.
bugs.
Right.
Кому-то надо с фармилкой
I
бегать.
mean, they should be aware that this is
Should be.
a potential buy.
Экономику говна повел.
Да, нахуй хук 7 купил. Как бы том что-то с ней сделает смешное.
Лучше бы гранат
How much does
купил
he
бы.
have to give up?
Я
Having been
раздал бы
spotted
всем
there.
гранаты, да.
He can sit behind the molly inside a secret, reroute if he wants to, but he doesn't have to leave, I don't think.
Да,
It's still a good spot to be to start the round.
Дигл такой же есть,
They need a
по-моему.
lower guy anyways.
Да, есть дигл.
Comes up the vent
Еще,
by the
по-моему,
looks of
есть.
things.
Oh, okay.
Мне кажется, все.
And he'll
Может
go
быть,
for the
нет.
top blue peak instead. Over the
Прям
wall. This is a good
Дигл
angle for
пришел
Nico. He's got to
и-
show us something to be proud of.
Oh yeah.
Ник
There it is.
хорош.
Oh, yes, sir.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Damage into bits. Another spray through smoke, and this is
Сейчас собрал
feels
инфу,
like
что
the
еще
best
двое
round
как минимум
Nico's
на
had to
улице.
offer.
It's getting in like the flow state of all the timings of where they're walking around.
I mean,
Сейчас его
outer
подловят.
on Nuke
А,
is his
нет.
playground, and he's proving it.
Видишь, он первый
Again, more
пикнул, у
damage
него
on
еще
Bit.
было время
Hunter cleans up
перевести.
JL, and
Пострелять.
that is 5 standing strong.
All right, fair play. I was saying,
Ой,
yeah, he
флешка
could stay in
хорошая.
secret. That'd be a good spot to play. But their approach is based on maybe he doesn't move, and he ends up going all the way around the vents, up the vents, and then up onto the back of main, and can see everything. No surprise that they weren't ready for that timing.
Пострелял, поубивал на шар.
And then just banks back into the confidence of the mechanics,
Ну, я
going for the
запомнил,
fight,
что можно
spamming the
так чекать.
smokes. You know, sometimes your outer nuke player really has to be larger than life. Larger than their one life really has to offer.
Yeah.
Видишь, он прям так типа на уверенность чекает с ножом, потому что это очень сложно попасть.
So Navi having to concede this in the face of a powering up Niko now. Big impact as he catches up to Hunter. I said he would. Honestly, it feels like the CT side requires him to. If there's going to be any outer presence, it's Niko in the pressure position.
Прикольно, да,
This
два
is a
брата и
great
два
game where
прошника,
it
интересно.
feels like the last round does not tell you about the next. There's almost no continuity between
Хантер,
ideas
конечно,
and what's
не
working.
на
because they're just
уровне
finding
Ника, но
so
тоже
many new
неплохо.
situations all the time, and that's what I think is allowing the individual aspect of the match to blossom the most.
7-9, близко,
Great for
близко.
moments like that.
Их уровень, по сути, вот ты возьмешь какого-нибудь такого же Хантера, он же основы знает, а подтянуть его в командной игре
Thought
в
they had a
стрельбе
clue last round
недолго.
about what was going to go down with the rotations, but
Типа можно, мне кажется, вообще спокойно среднячков брать, апать и
G2 made it a
продавать.
little bit more interesting.
Вот тот же Monesy.
Both
У них же
pistols this
вначале он
game,
говорил, я
but only
плакал,
one
говорит.
conversion.
Я где-то на стриме говорил. Мне было вообще
That'll be the
тяжело.
best round that they've seen so
У
far
них
on
ничего не
CT side.
получалось, он ныл, сидел там в каморке, блядь. Ничего, освоился.
Just think about how it could have started when Niko was
Ну
almost
ладно.
Где-то
crossing over
подучили.
towards secret.
Ну его Ника
So he
под
knows
крыло
he's
взял,
signed up for dangerous
натренировал
games.
малого.
Perfect grenade. And at this point now, Ima's getting
Грубо говоря,
bullied
G2
outside.
ему еще цену подняли, потому что они его...
He has died to the monesy peak. In a save round, he's lost to Niko 2 rounds in a row now.
Покупает свои
But
вложения,
even
чтобы
with that
потом
kill from
продать его
Niko,
еще
2
дороже,
players do
чем
get down
купили.
secret, confirmed by Monesy's death.
Yeah, that would have benefited a lot from Niko spamming
Oh, yeah.
to draw attention.
Yeah, a lot, like a
But
fuck
Monesy was a
ton.
touch too late. They were quick to shove themselves into secret, continue forward. Emma said, "Go on without me."
Да, да, Моноси
JL
повезло.
floating the
Я думаю,
idea of
если бы он в
eventually
Нави
crossing
попал,
two,
его бы
but for the
Симпл
time being,
сожрал,
Navi
блин,
are
пиздец.
spread out.
Ну, бита не сожрал же.
Ну, им бита не зажрал, потому что они все выигрывали. А потом пишет Ниппл или как он там был. Он же потом всех хуесосил. Там молодому в Навях просто нереально было играть. Ты промахиваешься, Саша тебе сразу говорит, что ты долбоёб. А Ника его, видишь, как младшего брата чисто там воспитал, там это всё.
JL's going to come in underneath Nico. Just as he turned away. How in the world just as he turned away, JL? He's going to double back into it, kill Nico. And now what? We're primed for the vent pop. Up they'll go, but into the lying weight of Hunter, who now has to turn attention to him. He is the A anchor of A anchors right now. Apex Predator.
Убил бита, убил здесь.
Я не знаю, зачем они по винтам пошли. Мне кажется, это такая рискованная мув. Ну, типа, ты выходишь с винта, у тебя точности стрельбы нету, и ты с одной точки выходишь. Ну, не знаю, как мясорубку.
Ты в надежде, видно, словить какой-то тайминг.
Ну, да, ну. Ну вот, они выходят, и они бесполезны.
Ну, скорее всего, это была ошибка. Они рассчитывали, что Бит сыграет. Но Бит-то умер, не надо было вообще дальше делать. Они в надежде... То есть, если бы был Бит живой, это все получилось бы. Потому что фокус был бы на... Ну, Бит бы выходил, считай, с нуля. И на себя бы забрал фокус.
That's a weird round. That's why this game is basically impossible to summarize.
We show that one back to Niko and ask what's up.
Надо разбирать этот момент.
They felt like they definitely had a thread to pull
вообще
on,
просто не боится выходить. Хотя могли наказать.
The 1 AK changes hands. JL out from Squeaky is done for, and it needs to be Ema, but it won't be.
Oh yeah.
An op shot from
That's a good amount of cheese.
To essentially seal the deal.
Ой, тут прострел есть интересно. По сути, можно задрочить прострел за красным убивать. Надо посмотреть, что делать.
Стоп, за красным постреливается?
Ну там вот момент был классный. Секунду. Вот. Вот тут можно прострелить. Видишь? Можно немножко задрочить этот прострел и убивать.
Ну, такое, да.
Ну, очень часто в этом месте стоят на двигатель. Когда авик, допустим, видит, что чуваки прыгнули, скорее всего, там стоят. Либо за красным. Давать молик и...
Necro secret event to top main to
Они мне
I
жмут.
can't do my job right now.
Они мне очень
People have
сильно
to listen to
жмут.
you all the time, but I have the privilege of watching you work,
Я не буду...
and I can see half of these rounds your eyes glazing over as you try to make sense of things, but you can't crunch these numbers, man.
Блядь, ну не бери меня, если позоришься.
Yeah, I can't like what would do Navi want to do this round, for example? Like, what do they want to do?
Win.
We don't have any upper pops. We don't have any ramp splits. We don't have any standard secret drops. Instead, we have so much material getting traded on defaults going outside into massive individual play, usually from G2, stomping everything.
15 days of boot camp, bro. It'll get your wires crossed.
Yeah, true.
Ooh, but Bit keeps this one simple. From the top of Silo, knocks Niko down a peg. And that's a main challenge incoming. Problems for the Hunt player, who's dropped out of this. Hooksy behind the vent. Double kill, and a little bit of damage on the follow-up. Now, Bit is pinned in behind vent. Awkward from Wonderful, but he still recovers the aim. And this needs to be the monesy 1v3. Player down beneath him, getting by.
I don't know how he finds out that Emma has crossed back in a spawn, and
here it is.
Okay, there it is. Okay, now we will get that one. And this one, you know, this one's more fundamentally sound in the sense of, like, they get the Niko kill, they turn that into an upper split. It's very standard. They also shut down the trophy push and come through Squeaky main and
a round that almost opens up so quickly that there's no need to get convoluted.
Yeah.
And all the protocols that Navi clearly had in place were able to work fast enough to just pressure through, right? From the Niko frag to having A site under wraps in all about 20 seconds.
But even a situation like this, there's no molly opposite vent. The entries into mini are staggered. the approach out of hut is staggered from the squeaky play as well. So I feel like, you know, Hooks
Дай
getting 2
молчать.
kills is even surprising in that spot.
Ща,
So,
найду.
well, we'll see. Again,
У Г2 тренер ТАСС.
who knows? Maybe it's
Этот
just
из
that they
Virtus.pro
are just
польского.
all trying to get on the same page with what they want to do. But it works out for them right there. The game continues. And I know G2 don't think that this will come for free because, yeah, they've put themselves in some zany positions and come out ahead. But they themselves are not winning rounds in like normal ways. So let's see. Monesy will be picking up the op. There won't be one here on the T side for Navi, but both teams have money, which should create for the most exciting situation possible. And another secret start here for niko.
Yeah, but taking the long road this time, and it gets contested quickly. monesy does not see that player cross.
I think niko might have heard him.
Okay.
Maybe.
The way he just fell back, it feels like that's the possibility.
Yeah, maybe at least the timing was called there. So monesy will peel back.
But as he comes back in, Wonderful's right there, maybe steps ahead of what monesy expected. Thought he came back fast enough to prevent this, but instead Wonderful's got an open road to heaven. And Nexa towards ramps, compromised on both ends. Hunter doesn't feel comfortable, so him and Hooksy are going to go for lobby control, joining up with ramp, in fact. Looking to make a play to reclaim something. JL has waited back here, but Hooksy is going to win that duel straight up.
Ну, Hooksy тащит.
All right, this round is all about Wonderful. Eventually, this ends upstairs. They can get this split into formation. CTs can roam as much as they want to, but at Navi's will, they can kind of approach and split.
Is he top main?
Yeah.
Ну, пока я смотрю, он реально все дуэли вытащил. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Hunter finds that timing. Hooksy, though, caught by Alexi creeping in through main, and so A site still opened up with support towards heaven. Nexa's desperate to get up this ladder. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. And that's off the blade tack pause, by the way. This split comes to fruition.
Hunter and niko.
All right.
We got the Kovac side by side. Nade nails them both ever so slightly. They're concerned about main, but it really is just 2 players back site plus the heaven support now back in position.
No molly makes this so difficult.
And on top of that, Wonderful has a Molotov for the post plant if it even came down to it, but no attempt thrown out by the brothers. G2 can see double digits and Navi take a 10th.
Yeah, once again off the blade tack pause, the instructions are wrap outside. They send Wonderful on a mission. He finds a great timing on monesy, who's running in through hell after niko starts secret all around. So I think niko peels back, doesn't search out information, and then it's really on monesy to be like, all right, I got to make sure they can't get into hell or get up into heaven at some point.
Смотри, смотри, близко.
Could have gotten the shot off, right? If Wonderful doesn't first bullet him, monesy could have reasonably hit it. But once that kill is down, you know monesy's not doubled up. So he goes right into heaven, and it's just a matter of time before upper is taken over. And so Navi bring this one round closer, and again, as sick as some of the rounds that G2 have won, Navi are here.
Следующий раунд решающий. Это так, не показать.
Pressure for niko. Of course, him and Hunter, those save rifles, right?
Почему нiko не активно играет? Зачем он зажался? Он надо активно искать киллы.
People need to start pre-mollying hut for rounds like these.
Yep. Or just make sure you come in 2 people, right?
Я сейчас показаю.
Multi-frag.
Не мешай мне, пожалуйста. Да.
Nexa has nothing to work with here, not a single piece of utility, just a stock pistol. He serves as nothing but a warning sign.
Ну, Ника, найди килл, а?
Presence confirmed. Navi going to be thorough here because this is a tied game in their hands and one that has a lot on the line, right? We are talking 2-0. We are talking 3 best of 3s to be played for top 8 at a major. A packed Royal Arena awaits. And that M4 is a trap for Hooksy. He tries to go reclaim it, instead gets caught in the act. Hand in the cookie jar. Monesy could very well fall to the same problem. But he has so little to work with that his time felt so limited. Navi, this one is perfectly played. Good risk assessment. Making sure that they don't do anything that could end up costing them. And while Nexa has reclaimed the ramp room, it is all for naught. Wonderful planting safe front sight, and Navi to tie this game up at 11.
All right, they're going to make this the most explosive finish possible. Connor standing up. Going to round 23 and round 24.
Допы.
Если они сейчас троих убьют, то допов не будет.
Tell me who wins right now. You don't have to be held to it, but based on what you've seen so far.
Navi.
Navi, okay.
Yeah, I think this T side, you know, you kind of said like, I don't really, it's kind of weird to get a read on, and I feel like G2 are actually in the same boat as we are.
Yeah, right.
It feels like they're a couple steps behind.
Right.
Рано радуйтесь, сейчас бай будет.
Yeah, we've got some 4D chess being played right now.
But I'm also not a sucker, and I know that monesy or niko, if he can put another outer round like the one we saw.
Yeah, I think that sort of encapsulates the whole feeling, that basically anything could happen. Navi know that just as well.
Да не нужен вам Мавик, ну не нужен.
Well, one way to take things into your own hands if you're G2 is get out there first. And we haven't seen a forward aggressive setup outside, which can lead into some kind of flank. They're just playing it tight. We have seen a full-on rush upstairs from Navi recently. And they are constantly starting secret.
Согласен, нафиг не особо импактный.
Here we go. Little off timing on the A hit. Hunter's blind and there's no defense here. Hoaxy tries to get out from heaven, but he goes down with
Хантер закрыл.
What a sudden pop.
Даже не доп.
Yeah, you could not even feel that
Пока
one
еще даже
coming,
не
and
допы.
suddenly both players down on the A
Пока
side
еще только в
flashes.
попу.
Да не нужен был Авик.
Extremely high efficacy, and the CTs are just playing back, dying as they go to save Navi. Are they really going to steal 12?
Вот какой русский скин, это вот этот золотой калаш. Просто
It looked like a first-tier exec to
блевотня.
get people off of top HUD. They totally transitioned that into a full on-site hit. I'd love to see those nades back
Надо
again.
сейвить, прям надо.
That's what it has been this entire game, a mystification of intentions from Navi.
Honestly,
now the execution is starting to line up.
You know, it feels like G2 are trying to figure out this dancing partner, and Navi just in the middle of
Сначала
some
надо
kind of
дефолтный
interpretive
лайнап
moves.
чекать
There's no
снизу, а потом уже
on
верхний.
Navi right now. And this round is such a great example of it.
And suddenly we're talking about Hunter forcing down with an MP9. Nobody having that much money. We had a convivial G2 knowing that this game was basically over. Things were just going too well for them into this. Crawl back on the T side.
When niko ends up getting his big impact outer round, that's when it felt like the CT piece they needed to find its groove did. It felt like in that moment, one more of those and it's all they needed. But
Сейчас будет, пацаны, надо араштеки. У них денег нету. Бежим, стреляем.
Yeah, he will not. That's 4 straight since he's joined Navi versus G2.
Если сейчас не очканут, залетят
These ones
на
I feel like have been specifically dangerous with Blade. Off the first one was, I think, when
Как
things
мы
started to
делаем?
get really organized.
Yes, sir.
2 в дверь, 3 в будку.
Navi, I mean, this has
Давайте.
been some blue-collar Counter-Strike, man. They are putting in the work to bring back this half.
У тебя
4 straight.
нормальный бай с фармилками.
The upset in round 14
3
after the pistol
встанут.
comes back to haunt G2, perhaps.
Вот этот раунд они выиграют. У
4
Монеси нету
MP9s,
авика.
M4 for Monesy. The
Смотри.
utility is here, but it just feels like
Просто.
Navi are so
Так
elusive.
может клаудам и не нужен авик?
Легкий раунд.
Opening kill on
Смотри,
niko. His
смотри.
frustrations are going to boil
Монеси
over.
просто сейчас
He has been
центры всех
outdone
порешает.
again. And bit on the chase versus the one rifle. This is Monesy
Блядь,
preoccupied.
куда ты
Bit so
шьешь?
ready for this swing.
They
And
forgot he was up
Alexi
here.
B
Валершик его хорошо
calling
поймал.
3-2-2 просто. Да не, ну он сам виноват. Стрелял куда-то.
G2 at the moment.
Они уже какой раунд быстрый играют. Не надо так делать. Быстрые раунды. Он играет как будто бы они медленно играют. Ну, то есть прошивает там что-то смог.
JL literally at a minute 10 waiting and spawn for a flank. Anything that they want to try to do on an extremity to get cut off. G2 don't even know they're corralled in this spot. JL will come in now, and oh my god, the timing works out again.
Dude, it doesn't feel like he can do any wrong. Into the headshot, into the 2-0 group. Navi with their own flavor
У них
of
вообще не
CS.
давать.
That's the kind of convoluted.
Половинка-то.
Без шансов, да.
В начале с экономикой яко не делали, просто фармилки, потом на авике бабки тратили, авик не реализовывался. Все, проебали. Ник хорошо так активно играл на улице, а потом перестал. Зажался. Зачем? Почему?
Не поверил в себя.
Зачем? Почему? Непонятно. Так. Бартендер. Моя кошка, блядь. Что мы дохуя с ней переписываемся.
Я вижу. Фанатка.
Да где этот момент? Так, проще вот так сделать. А, во. Сейчас. Нормально видишь?
Да, хорошо.
О, видишь?
Wait. This is the worst. Now, this is epic.
Ну, это самое первое, самое четкое. Даже так хочу.
Да, прикольно такая.
Wait.
Вот что ништяк.
Да.
This is the worst.
Вот так вот надо наклейки клеить.
Now, this is epic.
Кайфом.
Так вот сделать. Сколько, интересно, это стоит?
Ну, сейчас стикеры в стене
Ну,
полетели.
за счет этого, да. Что, сегодня игры больше не будет?
По-моему, все, да.